Hey guys, hope everything is okay and we can start. Okay, I'm just gonna try to put also the music. Let's go. We're gonna go today for two tables. We're gonna talk about range every hand, so everything like always. We're gonna talk about every hand, even the hands we are not playing with. Uh, okay, we got the music on, so we have everything. I'm going to talk about the reads. We got today PokerStars has made an update, which is good because there were problems with the replayer and problems with the HUD. So I hope everything will be good now. Okay. We're going to tribute this. We're going to call with the fives. He should be betting that a lot on this King 9-4 of the position, around 30–40%. But he used smaller size, so I think he will probably bet more hands. And probably the hands that shouldn't be betting. He's now overbetting and polarizing himself. Our fives are fold. We don't know this guy also. Okay, you have on the right side the HUD meaning. So this guy opens 50% small blind versus big blind. We can open the small blind versus big blind pop-up to see he opens something less against us. This is his fold versus 3-bet very high, but this hand is a clear call. He's betting 54%. A lot of trash in a smaller size, 1/4 and 1/3 size. Our hand is a clear float in these positions. Let's see his double barrel. We see still here ace-8. He used smaller size with the trips. He used bigger size and overbet size with this. He check folds a lot. Check calls hands like middle pair that got there. We can go with the 1/3 size and we can go with the half size. I'll go with the 2/3, a little more polarized because we will not bet always hands like 7s, 6s, 5s, and we're gonna split our range between half pot and 2/3 and 1/3. So we're gonna have all sizes in. He should be betting the turn a lot with hands like 10s and jacks, and we are also blocking that. Also hands like backdoor draws should be barreling. I think we have a 1/3 bet on the river. He's gonna still have hands like 7s, 8s, 6s, hands like 9x there. I think it's fine. We are calling here. His bet range is 20%, so pretty standard range. If he bets turn here, okay, we have easy fault on the orbit shove. Also pretty strange play on that board. Orbit jam in this spot. I mean, we have a lot of hands that has pair plus draw hands. I think he can jam hands like queens, kings, and they usually do that. This type of the player, not the best play because he also needs to check a lot in this spot. But he did decide to go for this. I'll try just to see. Okay, I'm in. We're gonna just find a new table. Just talking about the range, talking about every hand, that's the way to go. Also be active, comment, give your point of views of, of, of range of hands we played. They're gonna kick us out, okay. I'm gonna go into the waiting list on some tables, and we're gonna open some of them, so we're gonna be real fast in. Okay, we found them. We found the new table. The labels are red ones are winning regs. This is orange one is the nits. Blue one is the weak regs, average regs, and this guy 3-bets really low on the big blind. This hand is usually always a call, but against like 9%, it's not that great, and he did 3-bet first against us in a lot number of hands. I'm gonna call, but not that great. His range is, it has to be linear with this size. He should be betting all range on this board because his linear range is really strong. We can check raise, we can call. He doesn't barrel that much, so we can call. We have a lot of hands like 7s, 8s, 4s, 5s. All of these hands wants to call. He should be betting a lot on this board because he has all the ace, queen, king, queens, ace, jacks, ace, kings, queens, kings, aces. So we will check fold the turn. We have easy call on that with the 7s. He should be betting even jacks. Hands like 9s can be a bet. We're gonna fold the turn. Okay. He's check folding really a lot. We can go 1/3, we can go check. We have double gutter, so check has a lot more sense. Hands like he shouldn't be doing this ever. So we're gonna jam. His range is also not polarized from the big blind, from what I know about him. So this bet is his play is really bad because we have a lot more 7s that he's gonna have. So I'm just gonna jam. Real bad play by him. Hello Dinesi. Be active, Dinesi. Give your comments. And let's go. You need to be active, man. This is his first 3-bet against us in these positions, so I'm gonna fold 6-8. Even the size is lower, and even this player is weaker player, so okay. Let's see. Basically, we have all regs here, and we have weaker reg there, so the tables are okay. Not that bad. 3-5, we're gonna fold. He's opening 48%. 22% opening there. We're gonna call Jack 7 plus in this position, so I'm gonna fold it against 2.5. I'm gonna open 2.5 here. Fold to 3-bet. Ace Jack, we're gonna 3-bet. We're gonna open and 4-bet this hand against the 3-bet. 10s, we are 3-betting. I don't know this player a lot. I know this player and this player real good. Have table dynamics with them, so that's gonna be also important. His three betting big blind. This hand is occasionally 4-bet, like 30-40% 4-bet, but against 30% that this guy is using, we're just gonna 4-bet get it in. We're gonna go 25.2. He's getting overline, it seems, so we're gonna go with a 4-bet with this hand, which is around 40% of the 4-bet call. Okay. Queen Jack we're opening 8-10 suited. Queen Jack we're gonna fold. This guy defends around 33%, 22 is by calling, 11 by 3-betting, so it's 33% of hands. We can see which type of hands to see, but if we use probably close to the GTO range, around 30%, our hand is bet, we can bet 1/3. 10, 9, 7. We're gonna fold everything. 5, 6, and Queen 5. Kirpa, man, where are you? You didn't give updates on your challenge, man. Coyote, hello Coyote. Zoom windows, if it's possible. It is possible, but I just need to remember how I did it. Is it like this? Or maybe 5, 6? Yep, 5, 6 I think, yep. Let's go to the 5. Okay. We're gonna 3-bet. And we got a fold. Okay. Lord is asking how much hours I do on average. I play daily around 5 hours average. 5 hours average, and I don't play usually by Sundays. 5 to 6 hours daily. And I don't play Sundays, and mostly I don't play Sundays, only if it's big series going on. We're gonna leave this table and go into this because it's full table. Okay. This hand is a 4-bet part of, we don't know this guy, I'm gonna call. Okay. Even I like this table also, I'm gonna fold. We are opening kings. He doesn't have that much call range at all. You see, he's all 3-betting a lot, not a lot of calling. I'm gonna check, and I'm gonna go with the delay. He's not defending delay very well. That means his check range is bad. So we are gonna go with 1/3. Think it will be profitable. We have really good table on number 2. But I don't like to leave tables very much. This guy will leave, then this will leave, so okay, we can leave it. I think it is okay with the delay bet with the kings. We're gonna mostly bet big size on that board, so I think it's okay to we're gonna check a lot of ace-x hands also, so kings have. I'm just gonna probably stay now on it because we got the full table now. Even on this other table we have two big fishes, but don't want to. I don't like to leave tables in when. Okay. Basically, I'm doing the best to play every day from like 10, 11 till the morning. I just enjoy playing. It's not. We're gonna then leave this table. Okay. I just enjoy playing. His call range is around 5%, it seems. That's like 5s plus and suited broadways. So not gonna have a lot of 9x hands, so we're gonna bet. We can split range between betting big with this hand. I think it has sense. This hand it has sense to be betting big because this hand also needs protection. And now we got the table full. It's just gonna stay, no matter this other table has maybe better, but I'm just gonna stay on this. Okay, so guys, comment with me every hand and just tell me the context of the hand because we have a delay. This guy is now using bigger size until our hand is calling a lot, but in these positions we can fold until we know what type of player this is and which range he's using. This is his second 3-bet in 8 hands, maybe he's active 3-better, we don't know that still. Okay. So he had a hand. Did you just see the size? Wow, this guy will win probably. No. Did you see the size of the... I'm just gonna click here, not wait for the big blind. Yes, Lord, we played yesterday, but I don't remember any like big hands between us yesterday. There wasn't something like, right? Lord, just watch the stream, give your comments. I'm looking forward to the Skebasi school here. Maybe you can help me with fishes because fishes are killing me on Supersport and Poker Stars. So every comment will be appreciated. We all know that your coach play best against them. So be free to ask, to give your comment and help us, because maybe we are bluffing them too much, it seems. I post on the Poker Strategy interesting hand, 620 blinds against Matteo yesterday. So check it out, tell me your opinion. We just overbet jam on the river. I thought I just had to do it. So go on the Poker Strategy your blogs and see my blog, Marta and Mirko. See the hand and tell me what you think. Pretty sick hand. We got snapped on the river and we were overbet jamming for the pot of 620 blinds. Not that great of the feeling. Not that great of the feeling. But what can you do? What can you do? When you got a jam, you got a jam. I can tell you my thought process. Also, I write it in a Poker Strategy. But sometimes you just, it seems you just get it in a wrong way. I don't know, his bet range of that size, pretty polar. but he just bet top pair. Okay. Three-way pot also. See if this guy got enough, got an all in. Now he's leaving. Standard stuff. Okay. I don't know this guy also. Think this guy is probably a fish or weaker player. Based on the nickname, because usually when they have caps on, they are not really regs. That's my experience saying over 10 years of playing, whenever I saw players with caps on, 96% of the time they were weaker players. Let me see next dragons. Hello man, would you have some recommendation for someone to maybe building some kind of advanced hug or HUD? If you're thinking of the HUD, try to check it out on the Hand2Note to see different versions of HUD available. My HUD is also there, so check it out all of them and see which you think is the best. Or just stay on the stream and see this HUD, and then you can compare it to other HUDs. On Hand2Note side, if you're using Hand2Note, you have 6 most biggest HUD designers on their side. If you're playing on Holder Manager or PTR4, then I'm not sure, because I'm not in contact with Holder Manager and PTR for like two years, almost 2 years now. We should be having check range in a 4-way on the paired card, because we don't have a range advantage. We don't have most 10x hands, because this plays weaker player here will probably have more 10x than mid's gonna have. So our range wants to be checking in the multi-way. We just can't have a betting range in these positions. We're check calling here. If he's betting now, I think probably he's gonna polarize himself to hand like 10x plus. Maybe he's gonna bet also hands like ace of clubs, but I'm not sure. And generally in a multi-way post, the ranges are stronger. We don't need to defend like this, because we can just lose if the ace another ace comes. A lot of really bad rivers, and we don't know his strategy, so in this situation it's best to fold. But generally he's repping not that much. He's using less than half the pot, so I don't think he's betting 10x with this size. Maybe he is, but I think he should be more polarized, but we don't know his strategy yet. So Dinez is giving our Discord. Yes guys, coming into our Discord. We have a lot of great players there. We are calling this. We can donk on this board. This bet is really bad. I think raising, because he has like 10%, and he's not isolating. You see, he's not isolating 4s and 6s. And I would be donking in this spot a lot. He falls to donk really a lot also, and he's going with the big raise. I think our range just wants to 3-bet here, because we have the nuts advantage in this spot. We have hands like 5-6 suited, 7-8, 6-7 suited, all of those hands, and he's probably playing all pairs like this, and I think it's really bad. Because his range of ISO, he's opening 10%, so he's isolating 8%. He doesn't even have these low pocket pairs in it. To do the screen, we're gonna go with 1/3. He goes with a quick call. We can bet one more. We can go with the check. I think that 9s and 10s prefer more betting and jacks prefer more checking. Yep, and now we have a clear bet because mostly I think his range is going to be a pocket pairs. I'm going to go with this size. I think that this size has the most sense. He's not stabbing turn that much. We got lost by time. This is like really underbluffed line because you can check a lot of queen x hands, and he's not stabbing turn really much, so he can also check hands like queen 10, queen jack, king, maybe even king queen. Let's see cutoff versus early position. This hand is fold. Okay. We need to. I would mostly wanted to call, but Carson is really not aggressive on the river. And also the size that he used, it seems. I don't understand the size. If he's repping a full house, he needs to be. I would call against this size. If I thought we have a time, but we didn't have a time. I mean, we just have to call 20 blinds to get, and he's repping queen x that check behind on the turn. I mean, he's not aggressive, and this line is, I mean, under bluffed against. If we bet 1/3 and he raises, then it has sense. This guy also seems nitty, and 10x is not that great, so I'm gonna fold it. We just have to call this hand. We just have to call it. I mean, we are giving 20. We are giving 20 blinds to win. 110. I mean, we're gonna rarely see a bluff, but and you know, what is he also bluffing? Is he turning pair into bluff? This spot is under bluffed, and this guy is not aggressive on turn and rivers, and we can easily bet queen x. So, but just based on the odds, I think we just have to call. And where we lost the time, I don't understand. We pretty sick. I'm playing 2 tables, so I have full time bank, and I can think about every hand, but suddenly, no. Yeah, he's repping hand like. I think what's best in this situation is just to count the combos. If we go into the counting combos, let's see what happened there. How the hand played out. Okay, he bet, he checked, and this guy didn't bet defensive with jacks. This. Okay. The best way to approach this hand is to just bet the river combos. So if we go into the betting combos, we can easily get the equation. So he's repping a queen x. He has only suited versions in these positions. So he has 2 combinations of queen 10. He has 1 combination of queen jack. He has 1 combination of queen, so that's 3. King queen is 5. He has some ace queen off, let's say, but ace queen I think should be always betting the turn. So I'm just gonna exclude ace queen from checking behind turn here because it would be sick. And also king queen I think is easy bet on the easy step on the turn. So let's give him 1 combination of king queen. We give him 2 combination of queen 10 and 1 combination of queen jack. That's 4 combination that's beating our hand. Sometimes he's gonna can go with we can check here. Sometimes he can still play hands like 6s. So let's give him 1 combination of 6. So we are losing against 5 combos basically. Okay. We're gonna go with the overbet. So we're losing against 5 combos. We basically need one bluff because we need just 20% equity. So we need basically one bluff that he's gonna have to our hand, to our call be break even. So one bluff, it can be like something random that he decided to raise, like hand, like let's say hand like ace jack. Let's say ace jack of spades. Because he with the ace jack of spades he blocks aces, ace queen and jacks. So let's say he's gonna sometimes just, even it's not characteristic for player with this aggression to do it. And if we go into the river pop-up, we see his raising versus bet is he's rarely doing it. But basically we only need one time that he's bluffing to be that. I'm gonna enter Kirpa, just let's play this. We're going for the check raise. He's folding a lot of the check raises, but this hand is clear check raise. Kirpa, when you're saying to me a hand, please give me just description of the hand and context of the hand, because now I don't know in which hand are you referring to, because we have delay of 3 and something minutes. So you're talking about the super sport hand. I don't like that show. Don't see what you can have. Would you play the king queen the same way? No, I wouldn't play the king queen the same way. I would jam ace queen against him. I would jam ace queen plus. I would jam ace queen and I would jam a reset and 2 pair. We have all the 2 pair combinations. Also we have queen 10 off. We have sets. But yes, basically we are repping narrow range, and when we are repping narrow range, I decided for a shove. I would bet king queen probably with a hand with a size like 2/3 size, but on the turn I bet 3/4, so I'm polarized on the turn to the ace queen plus. And against him, even king queen is worth shoving against that player, but I wouldn't shove king queen. I would shove ace queen plus. But like I explained in the blog, this guy has terrible check ranges. He has never he didn't ever not double barrel top pair in 5 hours that we were playing. He has never checked the turn with the top pair hand, never, top pair plus, and his check range is terrible. So on the river I thought this guy will have all ace kings there, this guy will have all ace jacks there. This guy will have all the hands like nines, hands like jacks, hands like ace 5, and I thought, okay, with what he's gonna call there, I thought he's gonna call with hands like aces that I was sure that he's gonna double barrel, kings he's gonna double barrel. I think every top pair he always double barreled, especially when the turn got flush draw there. And I thought if he's gonna slow play hands like queens, he's gonna do it on the flop. But I was wrong in my assumption. And I decided to jam river. It was 620 blind spot. We had jack high. It's hard to check. It's hard to check the river with the jack high. You know, it's really hard to check the river with jack high. And when you think that he has that bad of the check range, I think generally it's a good play. But he did slow play there. He had nuts. We had monster of outs on the turn. We didn't get it. We would get the all in for sure if we catch our outs. We are just gonna bomb it here. I don't think this guy is reg. He has reg stats, but it's only 30 hands. I don't think he's reg. And he should be 3-betting hands like nines, hands like good kings. So He can still call like gut shots on the flop. I don't think he's gonna call it on the turn, but he can. If he's weaker player, he can call more with hands like 9-10, 8-9, hands like King 9 suited, King 10 suited. But basically, we saw that he did 3-bet 2 out of 2 times, so he's gonna 3-bet 9s plus. That's more important. So we are only losing to deuces and sixes. I think they're calling 2/3, so we have clear bet. I think we would have profitable bet with our bluffs here. We would bluff with the pocket pairs here, hands like 3s, 4s, 5s. Okay. Lord, I'm gonna just translate what you said, because that's the same thing I've made conclusion the same as you did till now. The play against the guy I played, his play is most random in every street. I agree. Uh, he mostly play random. That's the really big problem when you're playing against that type of guy, because he'll make random plays and random calls, and that's problematic, really problematic. Okay, 50% opening. He's gonna have a lot of king 9, queen 9 and jack 9 suited, so this 9 is also good for him. We can bet 1/3. We can even check this hand. I'm gonna go with the 1/3. He's mostly check calling, so when he's not check raising aggressively, we're gonna realize equity and we can take his range. He's also c-betting a lot. We see in his c-bet he has good hands, a lot of trashy hands, but mostly the medium strength hands is in his check call range, and that indicates we can attack his medium part of the range really hard. Rexona is here also. Rexona is sleeping. Rexona is in depression, guys. You know, he made something stunning accomplishment. He came from $600 to $63,000 in exactly 31 days, and he is now in depression. What do you think, guys? Would you like to have his problems? Because it's sweet problems. So let's cheer Rexon up. Rexon, just give your comments here, ask questions. I hope you're gonna get out of depression soon. We don't need to comfort you. I'm sure a lot of guys are in more serious problems than you. You just need to decide, okay, I'm just gonna buy a car, I'm gonna go into vacation in the hotels of 5-star, 4-star, 6-star. That is your problems. You have the rich guy problems. But just to say, he really did something tremendous, from $600 to $60K in less than a month. I just can to 63K. I just can say just well done. Really sick thing he did, and he did document it on Croatian Poker Forum. Sick. Okay, let's go get back into the range. Let's try to see what they're repping now here. Third flush, he's checking behind, king 10-7, isolating a weaker player, giving up. You see, this is pretty interesting. The guy give up with queen jack, and queen jack is good to have if the also fourth diamond got there. You have a pretty good bluff. Okay, we can check. We're gonna check a lot three-way. We can go for a check raise. We're gonna go with a small bet. I'm gonna back to 1/3 again. This guy cold call a 3-bet. He can basically have all pocket pairs. I don't even know the range which cold calls 3-bet, but mostly the weaker guys do it with all the pocket pairs in. When the king hits, we block a king queen, which is great, and he should have been having ace king for sure. I think the block bet has the most sense on the river because we're still gonna call with a lot of worse hands than ours, and he seems really weak and passive. He didn't even jam the ace king, which I think it's clear raise and clear jam, but not a clear raise, just a clear jam. So pretty sick. This guy is weaker player for sure. On the flop, we can bet 1/3, but you know we did 3-bet in this spot. We did 3-bet. Let's see. I think we did 3-bet UTG. So our range from smaller versus UTG is pretty strong, I would say, and we just can't bet hands like ace jack in this spot. We can bet hands like jack 10, queen jack, but I don't think we can bet hand like ace jack or ace queen in this situation. So I think queens are okay hand to go for also a check raise, because this player can have all the pocket pairs. He had aggression before this hand more than 40. That indicates he's gonna look at his flop and turn, so having go to a check raise is also really good idea. But he did get a king. He wouldn't also fold it. If we are betting 1/3 mostly on the flop, and he's not gonna fold to that size also. And on the turn on the king, we should be. I would be also betting for sure, and we would be losing. We would lost a little more in that spot, but still, I think it's fine. Fine is to bet. Fine is to go for check raise. I think we can decide however we want to. Okay, we're gonna just leave this table now, and we can come to this table. This label is really good player. I didn't play with him cash, but it is from the MTTs label, so we'll see how this guy is. On MTTs, I did labeling by the sharp scope, and if somebody has over 90% 90 ability on a sharp scope, I mark him as really good reg, and I think I have only 2 of those on all the sample here, so he's one of these. So we're gonna see how it is. But just to explain you, it is for the tournament, so we don't know how he plays cash game. We're gonna see now. Basically, okay. We're gonna check. We're not gonna have many strong hands on this board, so we just can't lead. We can go like this, and we can go with the bigger size now, 2/3. Had a king queen, which he didn't bet with the backdoor, and he limped with the king queen. Okay, he has 51-0 VPIP preflop, so he doesn't have raising range. He just limps everything. Also, hands like cold calling 3-bets shouldn't be, I don't know the range. I will tell you the range from my experience. The regs shouldn't have that, but some people has. For example, this guy just suddenly calls 3-bet with pocket trees and pocket queens. They generally shouldn't be. This guy doesn't have it, which is good, and this guy doesn't have it. But I see a lot of guys has that cold 3-bet cold range. Okay, this is 3-bet pot. It seems big blind 3-bet middle position, jack 9 8. Pretty insane. And this guy overbet jams. Looks looks oh, this is really strange. Let's see the hand again. Okay, the guy squeezed, this guy calls a squeeze. I think when this guy squeezes on this board, he should be betting really a lot. He has basically 8s, 9s and jacks in the range, because when fish calls, and I think I would squeeze 8s, I would squeeze definitely 9s and jacks. He should be having hands like king queen suited there, ace queen, and basically all the other pairs wants to bet, so I would bet probably range with 1/3 in this spot. And calling a squeeze there, which range we're gonna call a squeeze? Probably hands like 5, 6s plus. So this board's gonna hit him okay. Maybe even some jacks will be in this range. It should be. They should be in that range also. So he has slight EV advantage, but still a lot of hands wants to be betting. And I don't see a lot of hands that likes a check call. For me, when I see this, it looks like tens to me a lot. So I wouldn't say bet range, but I would say around 70% bet in this spot, because tens like to check, but also you can check with jacks and nines, like two top sets in this spot, and overpairs really wants to bet queens, kings, and aces, just like wants to bet in this spot, and bluffs like king queen wants to bet. I would say even ace queen wants to bet. You have good blockers with blocking a queens, which he should be also having in the range. So interesting hand and interesting jam here. It looks, what would you say? For me it looks bluffy. Would he just go with jam with 8s and 9s against this type of the range that's going to check call this board? I don't think so. So it looks a little bit bluffy to me, but okay. Deuce 4, deuce 4, deuce 4, king 10. Okay, pretty interesting hand. Let's see, he overbet one time, and this is that one time that he did overbet. So only one time he overbet. Mission, hey, let's go, let's have one good session, let's talk about hands. Let's talk about strategy. I will tell you my strategy in every spot, and also in the spots where we are not playing. And you can ask me, I can ask you how you do it. What strategy do you use in these certain poker situations? You're gonna ISO 4x. El Kaiser calls a lot on a small blind, 80% of range. I don't know what that means. Is he gonna have here hands like king 8 off? We are facing a squeeze. This guy is not that squeeze happy, but we see that he did squeeze and fall to a 4-bet 2 out of 2 times. That means he's gonna have bluffs. Let's see which hands did he use. It's even against earlier middle position. So we have suited. So I'd say probably having like ace jack as a bluff, king queen as a bluff, suited broadways, hands like probably 8s plus. So we're gonna call with 10s. Let's see his strategy in 3-bet pots. He's using a lot of c-betting. I think against this size we are jamming 10s. Basically we just can't fold 10s ever. He's squeezing a lot. He for sure has 9s and 10s and probably even 8s in the range, and hands that like these sizes are, I'm basically afraid of jacks mostly and queens, but against this size we just have to jam with 10s. Because he's gonna also have bluffs like this. and when he uses this size, we're just gonna jam hands that are vulnerable like this, and that are dominated his bluffs. We are basically flipping here. I think this size is terrible on this board, because this board we have all fours, we have fives, we have sixes and sevens. He should be using GTO strategy is 1/3 on this type of the boards, mostly 1/3 size, mixing with like 2/3 with hands like jacks and tens, because they need more protection. But this 80% size doesn't have any sense, because he's forcing me to shove, and when I shove and he's gonna call this king jack, he's only in a good spot if he sees tens, no, nothing else. If he's gonna see hands like ace 5 suited, he's not in a good spot. If he's gonna see a flush draw with the ace, he's not in a good spot. I would jam a set also here. I don't think that I would be calling anything, basically, because if I have hands like eights, I'm gonna shove. If I have hands like 9 and 10s, I'm gonna shove. If I'm slow playing the aces, I can call, and I can mix calling with sets and some worse flush draws hands like, but basically 8-9 is a double belly, 9-10. So I would be mostly shoving against this size, and he's not in a good spot when I shove, but he did get there, so okay. Cutoff versus small blind, he calls 11%. We see that he did call with the hands like ace 9 suited. Okay, let's see what he did still call. Okay, we can also 4-bet pre with the tens. We can call. I think 4-bet is also okay based on what we saw, because we saw that he did fold 12 of the times to 4-bet. That means he did squeezing with the hands that can call 4-bet. So immediately when I see this, I'm thinking, okay, which hand is gonna squeeze and not gonna fold 4-bet? It's gonna be probably Broadway's offsuited, because they can squeeze but can call 4-bet. So ace jack off, king queen off, stuff like that. And when you think about our tens need protection against this type of hands, so 4-betting is also okay. Let's see what happened there. 5x open, call, kings. This guy easily calls with 5x with queen 8. There is no problems with the replayer now. It seems that stars have fixed it, so that's good news. That is good news. The bad news is that we lost the first all-in, but I don't like the way the guy played at all. He used the wrong sides. He basically played it just because he doesn't know what to do. I mean, if he's betting that hand on that board that hits us, that's great, because we have all the sets and he doesn't have any set, so we have nuts advantage. Pretty bad play. It just indicated he's not aware of the range. He should be playing a lot of defense, because his squeezing range has a lot of ace jack, king queen. We saw that he's fold to 4-bet, so it indicates hands like that, ace queen off, suited broadways like that, and basically only overpairs. And he should be playing more defensively, and he didn't play it like that. Look at this guy. This guy is good reg, and he's calling a 30 blind from the small 30 blind button from the small blind. Doesn't have any sense. Which range calls for? You're gonna set mine for 40 blinds, 30 blinds. Only way it has sense if he has aces and he's trapping, but he didn't have it, so pretty bad play. This guy easy jams to the queen jack, suited. 3-6 easy fold. 5 face also. This guy limped with UTG, right? He has 6% of the limping range also. I hope to see you in Perla in 9th month. Um, I hope to see you in Opatia in September. But I think I will be also going into the Perla. His mana. We also have other tables that I was going into the wait list, but I only play these two, so there is no other tables on the side. We're gonna check this board 8-9-6 really a lot, and we're not gonna bluff now with the king 5. We can delay bluff. He's falling to a delay c-bets a lot. That indicates his range is weak, and we can take that range. Poof. This month I just can't get all in to go my way at all. But it's okay, we just need to play good. What happened there? Probably, from what I see, 3-bet pot. Bet. Interesting. Is it bet on the river or donk? Interesting. Let's see, he's donking on river. Donk river, he donked only once, but with the polarized size. And this guy calls only with a flush. What is this? He has the nuts. He was probably making he probably want to see his hand. I don't know how to explain it. Or oh no, the guy jammed. Sorry, I thought he called. Pretty sick. I really saw it. It was a call. Okay, let's see the hands. Okay, it was a 4-bet pot. The guy called with ace 5. Called the flop. This guy played it like it should be playing, and also this guy played it like it should be playing, so they both played it really good. Yep, they both played it really good. Let's see his check call, check fold. We're just gonna use the normal size. We can bet hand like 9x there, hand like 10s, hand like queen 9. So this size we don't want to go with the orbit size because we need to protect our 9x hand. I thought the guy just called. I didn't notice. But the both guys played it good. Queen 8-6. This guy doesn't fold a lot of to c-bets. Yeah, but Nari's deuce is not that great. How often do I go to the Patia? Not that often. When I lived in Pula, I was going to Patia a lot just to go into the sea and to see. Opatia is really beautiful, but I didn't ever play poker there. And they have the cash game festival with a lot of cash games, and I was invited a couple of times, but I didn't ever go. And this time the guys from my Discord called me to come there, and I decided to do it because I want to get into the shape. I'm gonna play a lot of MTT tournaments live, so why not go into the shape and go into the Apatia and play a little bit of cash games just to get into the shape, and then I will go to the Perla to play also a little bit live, a tournament there. Then I plan to go in Malta to play Battle of Malta, and then I think it is Berlin or Prague. I'm not sure which is EPT in Berlin or EPT in Prague, which is gonna be next. I'm not sure, but I plan to play it. I also plan to go to the Barcelona, but I didn't even play qualifications because I'm going to vacation at that time, so I basically just couldn't go. But I'm pumped in. I just want to go and play a lot of live poker. I'm really in the mood to play. I'm in the mood to play everything. I'm full of good motivation to play. So I really feel good. We're gonna bet with the bigger size on 246 still. Let's see how much range he has. So 26, around 40%. Okay, he has Jack 9 off. I was thinking about that type of hands. We're gonna use bigger size on this type of boards, especially with a hand like this. This check raise doesn't have a lot of sense to me. He's using super small check raises with this. I'm gonna go with the 3-bet because his range is pretty merged to a low pair and top pairs, and he should be calling against this size, a lot of them. So my hands still need a lot of protection, so I'm just gonna go with the 3-bet of the flop. El Kaiser just gonna call. We are basically against probably 50% range. All of aces, suited aces, probably hands like King 10 off, Queen 10 off, Jack 10 off, King 9 off, probably all suited portion of the range. He's calling small blind versus early middle position 83%. So a lot of garbage in his range. When his range is wider on a lot of broadways, we're gonna bet whole range. We're not gonna bet in a multi-way anything on this board because we don't have range advantage in this spot. This guy has probably even 2 pairs hand like 7-9, 4-7 suited, stuff like that. This guy range is also pretty, let's say 2 pair possible, 8-9 off in the range. I'm gonna follow. I promised to mission accomplish beer. No, I didn't promise. I lost the bet. I just have to do it. I didn't promise. I just lost a bet, and it's my obligation to do it. It's not my will. It's obligation that I need to fulfill. So I will definitely, and I need to pay for it. So nothing I can do. I just have to do it. We are folding 9-10 in these positions. I just have to do it, and I will do it. Rexania, continue crushing. Are you being sarcastic? We are not. We are losing currently, but we can. Always my sessions start like that, like couple of binds down, just to warm up, just to say hello. It's always like that. 42% of the range, 41 call. On this board I'm 3-betting 7s plus. I don't have any set in the range. I'm 3-betting half of the king queens. I don't have off 2 pairs. King 7 and Queen 7 we don't have in the range, so only suited ones. So we on this board we just have to defend a lot of with with calling, not check raising. 9 Jack, we're gonna open against El Kaiser. We're gonna fold against the button, also for deuce 3. A lot of interesting hands still, I must say. King Jack, unfortunately, is a fold in this position. The guy opens 90%. which is more than GT opening of 17.6. I'm opening 21%. So King Jack off is not a true bet. Also, guys, which ranges do you use? Do you use GTO ranges or you just go widen it a bit? It's really interesting to compare the EV if you widen your range up. How much you will lose? Did you ever try to calculate it? You know, if you widen your range, for example, on cutoff to a 30%, which I think is fine, you don't basically lose anything. You know that? You don't lose anything. Your hands that you add in will be 0 EV, so you're not losing with them, and you have better board coverage. You have more hands. You're gonna have some straights usually. For example, if you're gonna open hand like 4-6 suited, so you're gonna have more board coverage on the low boards. But basically, in a lot of spots, you can widen your range and not lose EV, even if it's more than GTO range. So interesting topic also, because I see a lot of players just strictly using GTO range and that's it. You can widen it up, especially if you don't have a really aggressive three betters. I'm gonna check behind with the ace queen. And this guy has I'm calling with ace queen. This guy has a little narrower range than the normal range, and when he bets like this big, I would say he bets only a Jack X plus. Let's see how much he folds river after check just to see a size. I'm gonna use this size. We can check some kings and aces also here. Based on that his range is a lot narrower, the board hits him better because he doesn't have many weak hands like Jack 10 off. And that's the reason why I check behind there. Okay. We're gonna bet bigger with the ace jack. Usually when you see 30%, when you calculate these two, you're gonna get his range. So this is calling range from against earlier middle position. This is three betting range. So when you connect these two dots, you get his complete range. And when you see 26% of hands, it's less than 30% of hands. That is a GTO. GTO has around 30% against middle position. So GTO has hands like Jack 10 off around more than 50% against middle position, hands like Queen 10 off, hands like King 10 off. This guy doesn't have that type of hands, so even Queen Jack off is questionable. So he's gonna have all the pocket pairs, and I mean, you see how he plays against delays. We can just turn our hand into bluff later. We still have hands. You just can't bet board on 6-7 jack, you know. Why? Because you have still a lot of hands that doesn't love to see bet. Hands like 10s, 9s. Why would you see bet hand like that? You don't want to bet it. So you're just gonna have to have check range. And I like to have hands like ace queen of clubs, for example, as a check back also. I like it. Hands like ace 10 of clubs, sometimes as also as a check back, just to have strong flushes in the range when the turn or river got flush in, and you still need to hands to protect. So I would mix some kings, some aces, some top sets like jacks, because you want to protect hands like fives, hands like eights and nines that just hate c-betting in these spots. So I don't mind going with a bigger size with the little more polarized range. Yes, mission accomplished. You are completely right, and that's what I said. He should be checking really a lot, and when he's using that big size, we just have to jam. And I would just jam with the sets also, just based because he's doing something he shouldn't be doing, and if he's doing something he shouldn't be doing, we're just gonna play aggressive against him. Uh, he's getting out of line. He's betting 80% with the king jack there, and when I shove him, what is he expecting to see? He's hoping. I pray that he has like in his shoes. He's saying I pray he has tens because that's the best he can see, nines and tens, and he's not doing that great against them, and he's dead against many hands. Gilliong says later the position more we can adjust default ranges. In UTG not so much as whole table is behind, I agree. But still I opening all the pocket pairs, and in one stream the people said to me, why you're opening deuces, you're probably not profitable with deuces, and we were going into my database, and yep, deuces, threes, fours and fives I'm real profitable with, but I'm not profitable. I'm like slightly losing with suited connectors there, but I mean if you're slightly losing you can play them also, it's not that big of the deal. Button versus real position against 4% of the range is not that great. Against this size is always a call, but not that great spot to be. Generally he tributing 6%, that indicates nines plus with this. Okay, we see queen jack off, so it has to be more. If he has king queen off, then equation is a lot different. But basically if he has nines plus and all the suited broadways there, he's checking behind this board where he should be betting a lot. What is he checking behind flop? Let's see. Oh, look at this, a lot of king queen, a lot of ace kings on this board. Nines and tens has sense to be checking it. Let his check fold. Let's his delay. He's now ripping hand like nines and tens. He's ripping hand like nines and tens. And we look like a pocket pair. Is he gonna turn hand like now, hand like ace queen into a bluff? Let's go see here after betting turn in position. He didn't bluff ever. I think we need to fold this. Maybe this is like hand like queen jack, slow played, because he's not betting eights and nines in this spot, and I think he would bet hand like king queen for sure on the jack x board. I'm just gonna fold it. You see this guy has really low aggression on river, low and what's so flop. I don't think he's gonna bluff with the delayed c-bet line against me. Delay. You see he did overbet here with the ace blocker. Delay and bet river. I don't think he's gonna bluff with that line, especially when on jack x6 he should be betting practically all the range in these positions, because he can 3-bet hand like he used smaller size. He can 3-bet hand like also ace jack off, we saw that he has king queen off, and king queen off is definitely betting jack x6. He's not gonna delay c-bet the king queen, there doesn't have any sense. This guy now, what is he wrapping? An overpair that didn't bet, because for sure he should be having check range there. Let's go into the multi-way pop-ups just to see his strategy. How the position is low c-betting, which is correct strategy. Let's see delay c-bet then. Yeah, top pair, stuff like that. So I would say pretty sure that he has an overpair. But overpair would be betting there. His range looked like a pocket pair to me, and I think the pocket pair is now betting. I don't think the pocket fours or pocket sevens are betting, so ace 5 is also good bet. And this guy didn't rep anything basically. So this guy played it good. Ace 5 is probably the same strength when this guy check behind. When I double check, it's same strength as pocket eights. Is generally the same hand because I don't have sevens mostly. I mean sevens are gonna be stabbing the turn, having a gut shot, so I'm not gonna double check sevens. I'm not double checking eights. I'm squeezing nines when fish calls. So his ace 5 is basically same as pocket eights or nines, same value, because this guy didn't stab the flop right, he just checked behind the flop. Yeah. This guy on the river reps only 3x basically, and that's it. Nothing else, because pocket 4 is not gonna bet this polarized size on the river, pocket 7 also. So this guy read the hand easily and made a call, which is good. I'm also confused why not go with the block bet on the river, but basically he thought, I think what he did thought that this guy, I'm not sure why he didn't go for the block bet. It seems that he put him as on a draw as to be bluffing, or because I think his ace 5 is good always on the river. He's basically losing to an ace jack that check behind and call the turn. So yeah, so I really don't understand why. I would go for a block on there, because I don't be expecting that this guy just checks with draws a lot, and he did now, but I wouldn't expect that because it's not something that fish do it regularly, so pretty strange. I would go for the block bet always, and I think that's the way to go. You're still gonna get called by the hand like ace jack, and a fish can even have ace queen, and for sure you can have worst pairs, worst 5x hands. So block bet has perfect sense in my eyes. Galeong, can you just when you ask, because I'm not sure now which hands you are referring to, just give me the context of the hand because of the delay. I'm not sure which hand you're I need now to go in my mind and think which hand we're talking about. We were talking about that 10 hand where I have tens and the guy had king jack. We're talking about that hand, but not sure which hand now you are referring to. So just give me a quick context of the hand, and then I can see. Because of the delay, my mind is now in somewhere else, in some other spot, and I just can't remember in which hands you are now referring to. So just give me a quick update, quick context of the hand, and I will be doing good, and I will for sure be quick to remember which hand you're talking about. We're gonna go into another table. Okay, we have it, but it has short stacking, and I don't like to play against short stackers. We have all regs here, and table's gonna break, so nothing. Okay, we have the table. We have the table on the. Okay. Let's tile tables. Great. Okay. Are we gonna trip it against him? He's opening 22%, folding a lot to 3-bet. King Queen has good blockers. We are gonna 3-bet it. We are gonna 3-bet it. Also, we are streaming tomorrow. We have a company. A really good player is. We can even call this hand because let's see how much this guy squeezes. We're gonna 3-bet. We have a company tomorrow. One of the best players on PokerStars will be in our company, and we're gonna do a PO after the session. So it will be fun tomorrow also. We're gonna do learning, we're gonna do playing, we're gonna talk about every hand. Anarchy is one of the best players on the PokerStars, winning 7 BBs. Great guy also, so I look forward to it. We're gonna check. We're gonna check multi-way. We could bet this hand also 1/3 and bluff with it. Not that bad. But now let's see this guy multi-way. This guy is really passive, and when he steps here multi-way, I'm not loving the situation. He's using bigger overbet size with bluffs. I'm gonna fold trees. I'm gonna fold trees multi-way. I think the bet is fine. We're gonna on that queen. I would probably on overbet. We didn't bet, so okay. King 9 we're gonna call. Ace 7 deuce. Probably gonna face 1/3 size. This size we're gonna call. We're now turning the hand into bluff. Let's see the size. He's gonna fold a lot, so I'm just gonna use half pot in this pot. Okay, I'm gonna check behind here with the ace stand, with the ace blocker. Double checking. Let's see how much he folds. 60%. Double checking. Check, check, check. Fold a lot. Check, check, check. Always he's gonna call. Still some top pairs. Like okay. Okay, we're gonna bet. We are losing the table. We are on the wait list on the 3 tables, but nothing still. Ah, KKK. Thanks, Gillian. Let's think about that. Yeah, I would say I would feel obligated to call with hands like 9s because no, the hands like 8s, right? It was Jack 9. Definitely I would mix. I wouldn't when he did the check behind and he's c-betting over 70%. I would be careful, so I would put a lot of weak Jack X, maybe like even King Jack there, just to protect it. But basically, yep, I would probably be obligated to call with a hand like 10s, but we are also forfeiting some 10s, so we don't have it a lot. So basically like 10s and Jack X. Because it's really under bluff line, and I would definitely call with 10s because he can bet 10s also there. I don't think he can bet it with that size, but let's see there. Fold versus delay is a lot. I'm gonna still double check with this hand. This is his imposition. Fold versus delay is not that big, and his triple delay is not that big. Yeah, I'm gonna go now with overbet with this hand. I think he's gonna put also a queen X there, so low queen X there just to get rid of that. I think it's okay. Then 4. Where three max is also really interesting to play. King 10 5. We are mixing big size. We are mixing 1/3 size, and we also have a orbit size on this board. And where the 10 4 suits, I think it suits in the checking department. Okay. 22% of range there. We're gonna go with 1/3 force. We can check raise sometimes for protection also against this size. Pretty great turn for him. He can now bet ace 10, ace jack, all that stuff. He's having 22% of hands. He can still bet queen x. He should be also having an overbet there. Yep. Force are always fold. I'm gonna use bigger size on this board, 3, 7, 8. He should be 3-betting 8s always, so, and he is using it. Yep, he's using 8, so blocking a set of 3s is important. So his only strong hand is 7, so we can take this range really a lot, put pressure on his top pairs and stuff like that. 9s are always a 3-bet. He's opening 43% against us. It's 40%. Falls to 3-bet really a lot against us. 4-bets a lot less against us than against other people, so we are just calling a 4-bet there. Usually you see king queen suited, which shouldn't be there. It's clear call, but he used it. Just think about our 3-bet range on jack 4-3. We have a lot of 8-9 off, a6 off. A6 off is gonna bet, ace deuce off gonna bet. I'm gonna against 6%, 16%. I'm gonna fold it. Hands like 8-10 off gonna bet. We have jack deuce to jack 5 suit. It's gonna bet, so we're gonna bet this board frequently. Ace king, king queen is gonna bet. Basically, we are betting really a lot on that board. We are betting a lot of 1/3 size on ace king 9, and we are betting a lot of big size, and we can also having an overbet range on immediately on the flop. I don't think he should be betting king x ever there. And I don't think he should be stabbing a lot also. I would be betting hands like deuces, still deuces, 3s and 4s almost always. When I see in the stab range hands like middle pairs, and he even bet it on the turn, but it's definitely way different. We are betting the river there. He's gonna get hit there with jack 10 and queen jack, the hands that are better than our hand. So we're just gonna go with the bet. We still have hands like ace 10 here. We still have hands like ace x. We still have some slow played hands. So turning 7s into bluffs is way to go. We are losing. He can bet like king x there. He can bet. He can have now hand like jack 10 and queen jack, which is beating us. So there's no sense in going to the check. There's no sense for that also. Not the greatest spot here, but we're gonna have check range on the flop, so we can easily call here. We can put also raises on the river on the blank because he's not gonna have a lot of 3x hands. We have check range on the flop because this guy will have ace 5 off, ace 3 off. In the range he's calling small blind 80%. He's gonna go also call a lot of imposition. So I'm gonna go with the small bet. We just can't bet big because we don't have ace jack. Basically we just have to bet small. We're gonna bet some hands like king 9, hands like queen jack. So we're just betting small, and we're gonna bet small on the river, but not again, not on this river. We are against 50% of range, it seems, because you just You see, this is his calling range, big blind versus small blind is his three betting. When you sum it together, it's 50% of range. So you know his range on the big blind versus small blind is 50%. You divide the three bet range from calling range, and you know immediately which hands he has in the range. And when you know which hands he has, it's a really good start to on the flop to think about how his range is affected on the flop, how your range looks like, who has the advantage, what you can do, what he can do, and stuff like that. So 3-6, we're gonna open it again against 50% of range. That means hands like bottom is like king 8 off, king 9, queen 9, jack 9 off, hand like 7, 8 off. Still, I don't think hands like 5, 6 off, 4, 5 off are there because it's 55% of the range. I'm defending personally 70 to 75% of the range, and I think it's a way to go because people play small blind versus big blind really bad, and you just have to. He's really not aggressive, so I'm gonna fold. They play really bad in these situations. Ranges are pretty wide, and you can overplay them. You can have edge there, and I think 70% you can easily defend. I defend like that, and I don't have any problems. Also, people mostly under c-bet the regs on this limit. Also on the iPoker on NL 400, the same type of players, they under c-bet. In many spots, small blind versus big blind. So we need to be also careful here because we don't have 7 and 8, so we can get out of line. This hand has perfect sense for go to a check raise, but I like to put also weaker hands in it, hands like hands like 6, 10, 6 jack. Now his hand to me looks like an 8x, so I'm just gonna go with the. Let's see how much he falls to an overbet. Just gonna go like this. We still have hand like queen 10, 5, 6, 6, 9, so I think it's fine. One third I'm gonna bet. Think we can bet a lot of range on this board because it doesn't hit them great. We are faced with the check raise, or we are only calling with the 7-10. We are also blocking some bluffs, so we're gonna stick this hand into our calling range only. Think it's okay. I'm just gonna bet small. I think he's gonna have a lot of give ups, so I'm just gonna go even smaller than I used to. I'm usually 1/3, but still here I think we can go with 1/4. And now to me it looks like a 6x hand. I'm gonna go with an overbet. Because for me it looks, his hand looks like really a lot like a 6x hand. We still have bluffs there, so I would, and when he check calls the turn against 1/4, he looks really like some shown audible low hand like 6x, or hand like a pocket pair that check raise for protection, hand like pocket 5s, pocket 7s. King jack is going to be checking. Still checking the river with the king jack. We're gonna have worse hands than this one. We have good blockers. Let's see his check bet. He didn't bet, but still pretty strange size. I mean, what is he betting hand like queen 9? I don't think so. So pretty strange. I think now he reps like a trips here, or backdoor flush with this size. I mean, he has low aggression on the river, but for me it looks like a call. Basically, because I don't know what he's repping. I think he's betting queen 9 there with that size, because I can easily have king queen like I had queen jack there. I'm not sure. Until we get the table, we're just gonna zoom one table. So we're gonna enjoy it until we get it. So let's zoom one table until we get the new table. Zooming a bit. People like a zoom. Let's see how we'll be in the zoom. I played when there is no more action. I play zoom. I played I think 10k hands of zoom to NL 2k NL 200. I play I think around 10k hands. And I would say a lot of recreational players, a lot of fish players, and weak regs. New hand. And I don't like that zoom a lot, but I mean I can play it, but I'm not enjoying that much because there's no table dynamics, and I think table dynamics is a lot of skill, and people who are good at it can get a big edge, and on zoom you just can't do it. There's absolutely no chance you can use your table dynamic skills, momentum skills, where you just feel the momentum of somebody's changing. You see the guys starting to spew, starting to be aggressive, starting to be tight, starting to be passive. You just don't have that in zoom, because you don't know what happened when you are not with the table against that player. So is he calm, you just don't know. So I don't like it because of that. King 9, I'm gonna fold. Also, the interesting thing is when I play two tables, I have more than double my win rate. It's like also in the other sites on iPoker, on Super Sport Poker where I play, I get like on all of them more than double of my win rates. So I get to the 10 BBs on stars on this limit on almost 300k hands, and I played on stream 30k hands, so 30,000 hands, and I have almost 22 or 23 BBs. I just play a lot better when I'm just tabling. I feel more concentrated. I can also follow other hands. Let's see what happened there. I think interesting hand. The guy 3-bet, which is fine. He didn't bet the flop. I think he should be betting with the queen 9. Look at this guy. You see, that was that guy that played against us. We're gonna go 1/3 and we're gonna just bet the river in this spot. What was I trying to say? So you see the guy checked king x there, doesn't have any sense, and he did do it, and then he going for value. So he feels, okay, I have one street. He's not stabbing the flop that he should be stabbing really aggressively. He's checking the turn with the king jack, which is pretty high, pretty good hand. Okay. So we can just say this guy basically never bluffed on a jack xx with delay c-bet and bet river. Never, never, ever. So our force was a good fold for sure. And I would just want to protect my range to put, when he checks, it's also a really, I would say, warning. I would caution immediately. So I would put some jack x like the Galleon said. I would just put also jack x there. Okay. We're gonna tribute with smaller size 4x when he's only 50 blinds deep. Think it's fine. We just get shoved on. Okay, we did get the second table in, so we're gonna leave the zone game. I'm following this on the Zoom. I usually call it on the normal tables. Gilling says I have nice habits of solid explanation. Thanks. I do a lot of practice with my guys from Discord, so it's nice. I explain them. It's only difference that I do it on Croatian and not on English, but not that problematic. Okay, we can add a second table there. Also, I play tournaments. I play Zoom. I play Heads Up. Why is this style? Okay, that's small. I play everything basically. I enjoy playing Heads Up. I started from Heads Up. I mostly enjoy playing Heads Up also. It's, I think, most intensive game and the most crazy game, because in Heads Up ranges doesn't matter that much. So players that are more aggressive are always in a big advantage, and if you play against really aggressive fish, you can lose. For example, yesterday I played Heads Up 5 hours against really aggressive fish that had stats 75, 70, 88 3-barrel stats. I called him 10 out of 10 times. He had a hand. He had top pair plus. So it's always interesting to play Heads Up. Hate this spot when the guy who 3-bet checks ace xx. That's always sign of the warning, because when they know and when everybody in the world knows that on the ace xx in almost any spot, 3-bet pot, 4-bet pot, you have enormous range advantage, and you start with the check. It's usually not that great when fish do it. It's not even great when regs do it, because they will always put bluffs, more bluffs in the c-betting range than in a check range in the spot where they have advantage. So you always need to be careful in these spots. I don't hate even strategy when they check, you just check entire range on the turn again. I think it's also great strategy. Just if you think about reasoning, when they should be betting range or close to range and they go with the check and they see bet really high frequency, why don't you just put everything in a check on the turn again? Because then they will have trouble. You'll have value hands still there, and I think it's best approach. It has most logic also. And you just play your range from the his turn on the turn, right? So you're double checking and it's his way on the turn, and you just start playing your range from there. Queen 4 we do nothing, even queen deuce. 3-9 we are not going to do nothing. Also, I will be doing serious on poker strategy. I'm starting it after I come back from vacation, so around 15 to 16 of August. We are still not arranged. We have a couple of suggestions. One is that I compare all the pools and I give my assessment and my tips for every pool. I compare that, regulars, fishes, weak regs, top regs. I compare it limit by limit, and I give my tips how to beat them in every limit. What are their biggest mistakes? What are the best exploits you can do? I think it's something that nobody has done. I think it's something very valuable because I think all the people who are on the micro limits wants to know, okay, how I am compared to the people from higher limits, and in this way you can all find out the difference between limits and the players on that limit. So if the guys will be active and supportive and give their comments and stuff like that, I would gladly do it. So go in the poker strategy, go into my blog, give your ideas, cheer on, and I will do it. I will do that serious. I think it would be really interesting, and we can do all sorts of things. I will also, I planning to play also high stakes, so I'll put also high stakes. My goal is when I come from vacation just to play really a lot. I'm gonna mix live poker in it. I will also always on the tournaments into the cash games. I will give in my blog. I'm gonna some type of the vlog I can make, so you know how it was, how I did on the tournament or cash game live, and also then I will do a lot of learning. I will do a lot of playing, and I want to uh, then also play some high stakes on online. I want to play. I started to play also high stakes in MTTs recently, before like few months. I played till 1K MTTs. I feel I'm better than on that also limit. I feel really good. I feel better than everybody else from the guys I played. I only faced one reg that really crushed me on this on the stream. It was I still remember what he did, how he played really perfectly into donkey spots against me. Uh, so that guy is really good, but he also plays still 5K all the tournaments he played. I'm gonna go with the bet queen to 8. Probably a bigger size is also better. Magic Orange Man, hello, where are you? I don't even hear from you anymore. I'm glad you're here. We have just normal size on the river. We are betting ace king still, so. I think he can still have hands like ace queen that didn't check raise, and it should be check raising, but his check raise is low, so he can still have ace queen. That's why I'm protecting my ace king with the ace jack out there. Let's see if he's capable of turning a king queen into bluff. Also something really important. He's not capable because he calls king queen. Okay. So what I was trying to say, yep, that guy is he made really insane play in the donking spots that I didn't even understand at first, and then after he kicked my ass, I was going to PO, and 10 days I was working on donking spots. Now I know them really good. Uh, his nickname is Dodi Papa. Dodi Papa. So the guy's really good, and he's basically one and only reg that I did feel that he did overplayed me brutally. But I'm still waiting for that round two. I will be better prepared next time. So I will play everything basically, and cash games, MTTs, live poker, everything. We just have to trip it here. This guy opening at 31%. When you see something like this, 26 from middle position, we're just gonna go with the trip bet. Think it's fine. A7, 45%. C betting a lot in position, 64. Okay, he's probably betting range in this spot. We're calling with ace jack. He's not betting range, it seems now. Check fold is 43, so it's on the lower side. So basically, I think a lot of pocket pairs hands like nines, eights. He's not gonna put in the c bet range. Let's see here. Even block like middle pairs. Middle pairs here are like hands like tens, nines, eights. I'm gonna double check if he delays here. Triple check. I'm gonna go with over, but ace 10 he should be betting. Hands like queens should be betting. Hands like ace queen should be betting. So I just want to fold out hands like nines and eights, and I think this size is okay. We are wrapping polarized, but we can bet hand like queen jack. Even king 10 is okay with an overbet. So it's not like that we are so polarized on the straight. I think we can bet king 10 on a triple check. So I'm gonna fold ace deuce against zero open until now. King deuce. Also tomorrow we will do a lot of PO, a lot of me and Anarchy will be here. Anarchy is one of the best players on the PokerStars Midstakes. He's having 7 BBs on a big sample, a really good guy. It will be interesting, so come here, ask questions. We'll do a dual stream, and I plan also to bring a lot of other players in. Also, I was thinking about some coaches from Poker Strategy to do it. You guys will probably hear from a lot of them, so it would be interesting to come to stream, to make a dual stream, to see their points of view, their way of thinking. Think that would be also really good. Okay, we're gonna go 1/3. I think 1/3 and 1/3 river. He's gonna still have a lot of weaker hands. Okay, he's gonna have also some ace-x that's check behind because he's passive, but he's not gonna raise them, so I think it's really fine to do it against this type of player. You just don't need to worry. He's not gonna bluff raise or stuff like that, so easy game against him. So we have a lot of work when I come back from vacation, and I'm ready for it, and I'm also pumped in for learning. I have some problems in my game that I want to address, because on PokerStars I have same win rate without fish at the table, and I played 40k hands without any fish at the table, and I have 9.7 BBs. And so definitely it seems, or I run terrible against fish, or I have some problems with it. So if I would improve my game versus the fish, then I would have also better win rate. I think I spew a lot of against fish. You saw that hand with against enormous fish where I have 620 blinds. I overbet shove on the river. I mean, I had good reasoning for do it, but I was for sure that his check range and my HUDs show that his check range is shit, and suddenly he just slow plays. How do I feel of tendency of sites removing HUDs or providing limited one on client? I don't understand the tendency, if there is that type of tendency. I don't see the stars are doing it or iPoker, and I mainly play on stars on iPoker. I don't like any Croatian poker site. There's like only three sites I'm playing. I don't like that. I don't like, for example, GG Network. I hate the software. I don't like it. I think that like really bad for the game, because when somebody is trying to be better, he needs to have some informations, and HUDs provide you informations so you can play more tables. I mean, I don't need HUD if I play one table. I just don't need HUD. I will make reads on my own, so I don't need any HUD. But if I'm playing four tables, I need HUD. And why punishing the good players and the players who are giving effort? Why punishing them? But poker side seems doesn't care about that. They just care about profit. uh, I think I hate that everything is about the profit. And I mean, it should be all about the who is better, about the work you're putting in and effort you're putting in, not about. You mean, if somebody is a fish, somebody is fish. You just can't do anything about it. I mean, so why poker sites wants to uh, keep them more in the game? I mean, they have also opportunity to have HUDs, but they don't care about it. So why punish the people who cares about it? Okay, you can say you have unfair advantage against a fish. Okay, but uh, it's not because of me. It's because of the fish. The fish has choose not to play with a HUD. So they choose to come and, I mean, gamble or stuff like that. So, but I also was thinking about making a series about playing without HUD, just to show you how I play without HUD. And for sure I can play like 1 2 tables without HUD without any problems, and I can play it really good. And I can observe opponents and just write reads. But when I play 4 tables, it's just impossible to do it, and you just mm, forget some stuff. So I don't like that tendency from the sites. Uh, yeah, heartless sites are pools tends to be quite a bit soft. Yes, it's logically that they are, but I just don't want to play in that. I want to play with my HUD. I made my HUD so I can get information for every part of the range, and I can analyze and break the range by just observing it and getting information. So without that, I would be having to playing less tables. I mean I can do it, but I don't want to do it. I want to play 4 tables, chilling, enjoying the game. But if they choose to remove HUDs, okay, I'm just gonna accept it. And but I think that's not good for the game. Also, it's not good for the players who wants to get better and who wants to improve, because with HUD you get information and basically you improve. Okay, let's see what happened there. Pretty interesting hand. Uh, 4-bet call. I don't see how this didn't go in. 5-6-8. I don't see any sets in his range. He's distributing 6%. Even 8s are not there. So betting turn 1/3 has sense with kings. Shoving the river has sense. I just can't explain this. What are you afraid of? So this guy has flushes around 10% of the range. His 40 to 50% of his range are hands like 9s, 10s, jacks, queens. He has hands like broadways, which is other part of his range, and his flush combos are basically 6 combinations, and you are having blocking like 3 of those combinations. So what are you afraid of? You're gonna bluff ace king, right? You're gonna bet it on the turn with a blocker. You have also ace queens there. You're gonna bet those, but you're gonna check kings. I just don't understand this. And this guy also, what? He's checking behind on the river with jacks, so when I see this, I just don't understand how. 5 6 8. This guy, what's he having? This beating kings. That's checking behind turn. What? Not nothing. I would be betting turn jamming river easy game. I mean, and this guy just can't fold jacks, of course. Insane, insane, insane. This guy is neat, okay, but this guy is, but he's on the nitty size also. Like 45 one when so flop, 24 showdown. You see, guys, if this guy can win, he can be a winning reg. Somebody asked me on the interview on the Poker Stars about how can you be winning player. I mean, if he can be winning player, then you can be a winning player. He's playing 22-18, so pretty nitty, I would say, or how can you say? Basically, they all play the same way. You see these regs. My stats are like 30-23, and they all play the same way. And I don't like that way of playing. I don't like it, and I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate that type of players. Also, I write the hand on the poker strategy, and a lot of people said that maybe I was going out of line. But when you like own this type of player, you're just gonna feel good because there's no high skill in this type of the game, this type of the stats. One third. I appreciate players that put it in, that put you in a tough spot, that play the range, not their hands. So tomorrow we're gonna hear from Anarchy. Anarchy is a player that I really appreciate because he's putting on a fight. He's doing, he's thinking about his range really a lot in every hand. He's putting an all bets in. He's you know, so you just have to respect those kind of guys, and I do. But guys like 2018, aggression 30, went to showdown 24, went soft low 45. That's the guy doesn't have my respect at all. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna zoom it until we get the new table. I'm in the waiting list, so it will probably be fast. I don't respect that type of players, and I like to play with them also a lot. Falling. This guy seems so nitty. Seems really nitty. Probably isn't it. Force we can do sometimes, not always. I like to do it from time to time against earlier middle position. Force and 5 sometimes. Ace 10, we're gonna open. Let's see, we have three wait lists. Let's see what happened in this hand. I want to know. Let's see what will happen. Checking behind on a king jack 8 against a cold caller, which I don't know the range, but a lot of pocket pairs, I would say, from what I see, like hands like 67s, 5, so I would bet range on the king jack 8. Can you explain me this hand? Okay, you check the flop, which is terrible, but how can you check the turn, man? And he lost the hand on the river, which I'm glad that he did. Also, from what I notice in these Zoom games, they play super tight. Also, the regs play super tight. They don't really bet thin at all. I would say they are over 4 bet, they over C bet, they over bluff the flop and turns, they under bluff rivers, they under bluff raises in every street, and that's it. I would also like to compare Zoom pools. It's also idea. We're gonna go with the 10. Let's say his calling rate should be like 4s to jacks, part of queens, half of the ace queen suited broadways. Queen 9 is only calling. We're gonna call because we have a fish on the blind. 30 to 40% only c bet on king x, king low low. He should be betting hands like queen jack, queen 10, jack 10 type of hands, hands like ace 10, part of ace queens. He shouldn't be betting hands like 9s, 10s here and jacks. We are checking behind here. We are rarely, I would never say never raising on the turn. I would raise on the turn, but not that often. We can go with the 1. We have some 9s, but not a lot of them, but we still have hands like some 8-9 suited, 7-8 suited. We still have hands like some diamond draw that didn't step. It's mostly hand like ace 6 or ace 7, because I would step hand like ace 5 of diamonds. I'm gonna fold this. Galeong, thanks. You're welcome to join tomorrow and every other day. You had interesting comment, so I look forward to seeing you again. Eights, we're gonna just raise it. We are not sure about this guy. Is he having a polar range like he should be doing if he's polarized range? A lot of aces, ace deuce, ace 3, ace 6, ace 7 off, hands like jack 9 off, 8 10 off, king 6 off. It's all part of this polarized range. So eights, we're gonna call. We're gonna mix a check raise there. I think I'm gonna check raise pretty much always. Check calling with this. I'm gonna check a lot on the turn, you know. I'm gonna check a lot of on the turn here. Okay, 6-7 got there, but still gonna have hands like queen jack. Some give up hand like king queen with the backdoor queen jack. So I can have option of checking again and betting small again, which is also good. One third still. I want to have cheap turn with my bluffs hand like queen jack. Interesting that he didn't shove. Interesting that he didn't shove with the kings. So he played it real good. A lot of regs would be shoving on the turn against my 1/3 size. Check the turn. I'm gonna fold the turn against him if he's double barreling heel. I don't think he's gonna double barrel hands like king queen or hand like ace king based on his aggression. I mean he's lowering down, but I just don't see this player going there like king queen of hearts like this. But this size on the turn is suspicious to me because is he gonna bet or pair with this size? I don't know. But and I don't like to do it with the call on the turn and fold on the river. Against this level of aggression, I'm just gonna fold. I'm just gonna fold because I don't think he's just gonna bluff enough, you know. And he needs to bluff also without equity for my nines to be good calls. And you know we have better hands of 7 and 8s that have gut shot. So nines are not that high in my range, but they are in my range, but not that high enough that I against a really tight fish, passive fish, I'm just gonna go with the call on the turn because if I'm calling the turn, I'm mostly gonna I'm not gonna fold on river on blank, you know, because then my turn call doesn't have any sense if I'm calling the turn and I get blank on the river and I'm folding. That's something which I think is the one of the biggest mistakes in poker people do. If you're calling the turn and the river is blank, your turn call is basically gaining EV because now he did get away from all the bad rivers, and if you're then following it, then your call on the turn that basically doesn't have any sense, and I think that's the biggest mistakes people do. And if I'm calling the turn here, I'm gonna call river and blank always. That's just the way it is, and I don't want to call against a fish that has aggression of 16 and 20, and I'm gonna call triple barrel with the middle pair and basically get into the 3-bet range of I don't know how much percent, and probably no equity bluff hands, like I mean low equity bluff hands like overcards, so a queen, king, queen, ace, queens type of hands with blockers or complete air hands. So I'm not gonna do it. I mean against the reg I would gladly do it, but not against this type of player. We are called for betting, we are not falling to shove ever, so we are going with 24.3 or 4. Okay. He did 5-bet one out of one time in these situations. His 3-bet range is around 14%. It says 10, but on cutoff is 16. So I would say it's if it's cutoff 16, small blind versus button has to be more. So I would say it's more. Ace queen, he called it 3-bet, okay. Pretty nice to know. So I would give him probably range of 4s plus ace queen, suited broadways, suited aces, maybe some suited connectors also in. He should be also having hands like queens in this spot. So his 4-betting should be ace king, kings and aces. A lot of queens should be calling. So we are clear calling with jacks there. So his bluff should be hands like king jack, king 10 suited, hands like ace 10 suited, hands like ace queen off that we saw that he did call out. So let's see his 4-bet. He also 4-bets not that much in position. Jacks are sometimes even a check raise, but in these positions I don't think they are. So we're just gonna call it. We have here also 8s, we have 9s, we have 10s. We have some suited connector hands like 6, 7, 7, 8. We don't have 8, 9 ever, so that's problematic. And this guy also feels weak. I don't think he's gonna bet ace king or ace queen on this turn. I'm not sure. I think this is the worst river for him. 8's got there, 9's got there. But I don't want to bluff with jacks. I would turn here hand to bluff hand like ace jack of diamonds and king queen of diamonds. If he's showing here, I'm folding because I don't think there is no way he's gonna turn ace queen and king queen or stuff like that into bluff on this river, especially this type of guy with these stats. I just don't see a way that he's bluffing here. I'm just gonna fold it. In a 4-bet pot, go bet shove on this run out. I just don't see it's a bluff. This is just my experience in these spots. We have so many better hands now. We have all the sets that can still play in this spot. We have like all the 8s and 9s are calling on the turn. I mean, jacks, I don't see that he's like turning hand like king 10 into bluff that can bet on the turn. He's not gonna ever bluff it. And we are blocking hands like king jack and king 10, king jack or queen jack, that even the queen jack is not even in the range. King jack suited as a bluff. Queen jack is not even in the range in this position, so it doesn't matter that much. I don't see just king queen going bet shove in this spot. You know, I just don't see it. I'm gonna bet queen 10 3. I think we're gonna overbet this turn. Even he did quickly call, but I think he's gonna call us a 10x that quickly, and a lot of hands like queen 8, queen 9, so I think we're just gonna bet it on the turn. Okay. Pretty insane spot, and he did tank it till the end, so I think he had aces and just thinking, okay, can I get value from jacks and queens in this spot? I think that was his thought process. It's really rarely gonna see a bet shove from this type of player in 4-bet pot as a bluff, especially when the runout is so going into favor of the blind. There's no way if we call there, I mean, I also still play some aces, so we're gonna have also sets in this spot, and I don't remember that I ever see that normal reg or weak reg going into bet shove in the runout where it favors other player and goes with the bluff there. So if the rivers was like deuce and 3, I think there is no way we can fold jacks. But against that river where I just don't see it, you know, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I'm gonna fold Jack 10 off. I just don't see it. This is just my experience, and I know a lot of these players now. When I played a lot now, I have sample, and just based on the pool tendencies and what are they doing, there is no way in a 4-bet pot bet jam on this round is gonna be bluff. I mean, still hard fold, and our hand is GTO call, but when you think about situations, we have better hands in this spot, so we're not going to be exploited with folding this. And if you compare it to the pool tendencies, I think it's a real great fold. Okay, let's just isolate it. Also, he's probably thinking, okay, will this guy check raise hands like jacks and queens, because we need to check raise hands like aces. We're gonna have hands like queens, so I would check raise some aces, and I would check prefer jacks to queens as a check raise sometimes, because a lot of queens should be bluffing like ace queen there. So hands like 8s and 9s will never be a check raise, so still it's significantly strengthened on our range. And when you think about that, there's just, I don't think any idea that he did bluff in this spot. I agree. I agree. Easy game. And also when they see a starts that not falling to river that much, I don't think, if he has a bluff, he would jam it immediately, you know. If he say, okay, I'm gonna bluff this king queen now, he would just jam it. He wouldn't think of, he just think about, will I jam aces or not? He's gonna hold jacks or not. He just think about that for sure, because if he's having bluff, he's not gonna wait for the last second. So we are still gonna check this board. Check with the ace set, king 5, queen 6. And in ace, it's not important that it's 4 in forward pot in this run out. It is run out that's heavily favoring our range, heavily, because the hands like 8s and 9s are always in our range, you know. That's the difference. And when he's shoving into that range, it's, you need, I mean, immediately I got alarm bell. But I think on the like blank, we just can't fold jacks. It would be something that can be exploited if we are folding, even if the run out was like a blank. I mean, I always call hands like that, and I don't think I, from the like normal reg, I ever see a bluff in that bet jam range in 4-bet pots, because our range when we double call, it looks like, or we have like slow played set, or we have top pair, or we have a hand like overpair, you know. And I don't see them bluffing in that range. It has to be a really good reg or complete fish to see a bluff there. That's like my pool analysis, and now I played a lot of hands, so I can say that really underbluffed spot, really. Queen 9, we are gonna 3-bet it. Only against 24% of the range, so not that great. It's basically a middle position opening range, not the cutoff. So, but still, I think Queen 9 is okay to be 3-betting. We are 3-bet folding it. We are not calling a 4-bet there. We are folding to 4-bet, but I think it's fine. The guy still folds a lot. I think it's profitable for sure. Queen 10, we're gonna open it. Jack 7 suited against 30% of the range. Against 30% of the range, it is calling. This guy has really, he called eights, but really narrow calling range. I would say mostly pocket pairs. This guy I think has, okay, he has some betting range. We're gonna overbet in this spot. We still have two pairs. We're gonna overbetting there. I don't think this guy will ever call, and this guy can still have hands like Queen Jack or Queen 10, or hands like King Jack that's gonna check in three-way. But we saw that he's c-betting a lot of overpairs. Let's see how much he, after calling turn in position, how much he folds to river bet. Really not that much. And he also doesn't fold to an overbet. And if I'm bluffing, I'm not gonna bluff with the hearts. I'm bluffing without hearts. So I'm gonna check. I would say King 10 or King Jack seems to me like the hand that he has. It looks like that. Queen 10, okay. Even this hand is maybe not that good of the call, but it's still blocking a straight, which is important. And I did polarize myself. In this spot, and I don't want to have hearts. When I'm overbetting, I want to have Jack 7 of. I mostly want to have Jack 7 of clubs, and I would just go with the gem on the river. But having hearts not that great, and he doesn't fold this line also, so. I'm gonna go with the bet. Let's see his defending range on the cutoff. It's around 25%, which is lower. So ace 9 of the hand that is usually there is not there. So great. I think we're gonna overbet the turn and most overbet the river. I would say. If the turn is not diamond, I think overbetting has a lot of sense on the river. We are folding to a 4-bet in this spot, especially against this guy 4-bets. In these positions. Not that great. Yep, easy fold against this guy. Let's see his squeeze range. 7.8 against, I think, I will fold it. We can mix, we just can't call, we can just, basically, this hand we can just 4-bet or fold, but I decided to fold. Which also I think it's good. We're calling against small blind this combination. Yeah, Dinez says on the blank is a pure call. Yes, it's just a pure call on the blank. Basically always. Jacks are pretty high in the range, so we still have 8 and 9 that are worse than that, so there's no way we are beating 10x hands, there's no way we are folding it, so. I'm never folding that, it's just too high in the range. Even we will not be good often, we'll be rarely good against normal reg, so, but I don't want to be exploited ever in this situation, so I'm just gonna always call the hand, which is always a GTO call. There's no way I'm folding it. If it's something always a call, it's always a call, and that's it. You can basically make big folds only when you have a lot of stronger hands, But if your hands beat a lot of your normal hands that's gonna be in, there's no way you can fold it. Queen 3 we're gonna be calling. We have polarized range big blind versus Kato, but Queen 3 is not in there. Queen 7 to Queen 10 are part of them, like 20% of them. So okay, he should be checking a lot in this 3-4-5, but he has different strategies, so he c-bets frequently. Our hand is calling. We are not going to check raise it. We have a lot of other hands that's going to check raise. If he's betting 82%, his check range has to be bad. So I'm gonna go with the normal size. I'm not gonna go with an orbit. We still have 6s, 7s, 8s that wants to bet like this. We still have 5x hands that want to bet like this. So I'm not gonna go into the orbit range with the Queen 3, because a lot of my range is just the pure bets, and I don't want to divide the range that much in this spot. So I think one size is better, and his checking range on the turn has to be weak when his betting range is 82% of the hands. So there is no way he can be balancing folding 82% and having a check range. There's absolutely no way. He's using high frequency bet strategy, and that's that strategy has a lot of awkward things, because first is you're going to be prone to raises. Second is you're going to be weak on many turns and have a lot of medium strength hands. And third is your check range is going to go into the shit. You're not going to have any check range. Basically, you are check folding most of your range. Against 16% is fold. Against 20% we can mix 50% of 3 bets with the ace jack, but not against 16%. We are just folding against 16%. I'm gonna do a quick bedroom break and get back. We will be at the blind, so we'll not lose anything. So I'll be quickly back. Fast. No. No. Oh. No. We were so close. So close. So close. And we didn't make it. Let's go like this. And let's go like this. Let's see on the Super Sport what's going on Croatian poker site. Really crazy poker site. I will show you sometimes what is going on there. Let's see what's going on there. I want to know. Really crazy. Okay. Six, 8. Okay, this guy's back. This guy's back. Okay. Let's go. let's prepare for tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna do pi after the session with anarchy. I'm gonna try this. Moore is waiting for us. Wow, this is really bad. We are getting called for with this guy that calls tribute with ace king. So we just have to call, and if we don't hit the jack, we are basically drawing that. Because this guy is not 3-betting anything. He's now call 4-betting with this size that says please call and key and stay in the pot. We're gonna call, the board will be deuce 4-8. Aces, huh? And this is aces, guys. This is how aces looks like. Another check here. Huh? No, okay. This is how aces look like. El Kaiser. If you ask me, would I like to see a queen, jack on the turn? I would say I don't know, not sure. I would say I'm not sure, guys. I would say I'm really not sure. 9-10. Not many good spots today. A lot of folding that I'm not used to. But I think we did all the correct plays today. I feel really, really good. Okay, let's see what happened there. Moore is probably calling ISO. The guy probably bets range here. Double barrels really low. This guy folds 46%, so let's see his call. Top pairs. I don't see a lot of floats, but fast call again. Looks like a jack X. Looks like a hand like jack 10 or can like a king 9. That's a fast call turns. Francis just got a bet the river. Got a bet the river because he has a lot of queen X hands that this guy doesn't have. Yeah, goes for the pot, which is good size. Has to bet it. There is no way he can do anything else than bet that good river run out. Let's see, the Moore went to showdown. I guess this guy is perfect to do it. So this guy won't go to the showdown that much. This guy is capable of folding. And you know, I will tell you one secret. When the guy goes to the quick call on the turn, it's always that some medium strength hand that is like pure call, doesn't have to think about it. But it's never value range. It's never value hand because he would be thinking, okay, what I'm gonna do now with the fours? Do I want to raise them or not? So basically 99% in my opinion, my experience is this is like a top pair or good mid pair hand, because all the draws are something it needs you need to think what to do. But with these hands you just have pure calls, you're just easy calling. And I see a lot of faults on the river when you see a fast call on the turn. Okay, queen 6 is mostly calling. 50%, 47% of the range there. Yeah, but we just have to delay there and bet the river. We still have all the tens or the queens that can bet 1/3. All the hands like jack X hands, ace jack comes to mind. He's gonna have still hands like nines, 9x hands. Okay, we can now go with an overbet, or we can go, and I really like that overbet in this spot. Yep, and go like this. I think he's gonna step mostly like Jack X hands, and we can still have them in the range. So I think it's really okay play because we are forcing them basically to fold 9x hands, and he's falling to a lot of call delay fold river, and I think wrapping Jack X has the most sense in my opinion. Okay, there is 5. We're gonna open button. Let me see the reads I have on the Francis. No reads, we're attributing this. This is Dinez's favorite hand, so we're gonna bet 1/3 there. 15% calling range. He's not forfeiting that much, but this hand is calling basically. It's a real bad board for our range because here now the hands like nines and tens are folding the flop. They are basically folding the flop. So when it's situation like this, we just need to defend by calling everything. I'm just gonna call there. On this size we are calling nines and tens for sure. Look at this 4-bet range. I mean, it's sick. It's really heavy. I should even fold it pre-flop. Yep, I should just fold it pre-flop. We have easy calls. He can still bet even hands like jacks and queens though. With this size. And against this guy I'm just gonna fold to a jam on the river for sure. Yep, I'm just gonna fold to river shove. No blebs, just top pair, top kicker. Doing this small size on the flop. Ace-5 suited didn't bluff the river, great. You see that people just don't do it. I mean, in forward pot, bet jam against weak players, nits and weak rakes, it's never a bluff. Look at his aggression on river real low. I would just, he even bet the turn just based on the equity he had. So he's not even thinking, I think, about his range, that his range is still so strong. So I would just fold the river, and I would also have a, you see, if he's not bluffing ace-5, where he doesn't block these spades, we still have a lot of spades that are calling. We still have ace-jack, ace-10, we still ace-queen, and he's losing to all of these hands. And I think when you think about it, like ace-5, we didn't see like hands like ace-jack off in the range, so ace-5 is, and ace-jack is still higher than ace-5. So ace-5, you just have to bluff it. There's no way you are good here on the run out on the river. There's absolutely no way. You are losing to ace-10, ace-jack, ace-queen of spades. So I would always jam the ace-5 there, especially when his range is so strong. So pretty insane that it is like it is. Just my pool analysis, like 4-bet pots, bet jam, only good regs and spew regs and complete fish has like bluff range. Only good regs, because they will knew. For example, good reg would be on the river thinking here, okay, ace-5 is not going to be good on the showdown. My range is full of the king x hands. I have all the ace king. I have all the bluffs with king queen off. He should be this play. I don't know if he's having it, but he should be having king queen and king jack, and even king jack is just bet jam there. So he would, every good reg would be bluffing ace-5 there, every. But normal regs and needs, they're just not gonna do it, and that's the situation. Just think if they didn't bluff in this spot, just think about that for that run out with when we have jacks. There's no way we get bluffed there. El Kaiser still holds. El Kaiser still kicks ass. Ace 9, Jack 8. Let's see more. What did you do? Okay, better. And what did you do on the river? Just gave up. Okay, not blocking. You see, not blocking diamonds. Not think pure bluff. Even Spacey would call the river probably. Or for sure he would be calling there with that hand. Ace 4 opening, 5-6 folding. We're gonna check there a lot. We're gonna have all three sizes in this spot: 1/3, 2/3, and the 82% size. Or bet we're not gonna have on this type of or bet of the flop. Gracia. Guys, you're quiet. What's going on? What's going on? Where are the questions? Where are the thought process? Where are the situations? Okay. Let me see this table. Okay. Do I want to go for tables now? Because there's no a lot of questions, I can just for tabling for like one more hour. Because if I'm to tabling, I could just explain a lot better and everything. But if we don't have many questions, I can just do it for tabling. And let's just do it for table poker stars. Okay, let me see. Yep, I'm gonna do it. If there's no questions, we're just gonna go with it for tables or 3 tables until we get the 4th one. I can just to see how the zooming is doing here, or maybe like this. 7, 8, 9. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can zoom in. We can even zoom in. This is technology, guys. We can zoom into the tables. When I was watching guys doing it, I was always amazed. Wow, he can zoom. So for example, I go with the 8 table number 8. Wow, I'm zooming it. Pretty insane. Let's see, he's went to showdown. I'm gonna go normal size. Fold. Okay. Ace 5 fold. Ace 5 fold. Dinesi, you're also quiet. You should be having a lot of questions, man. Dinesi is in the process of learning, and he is pumped up to learning. He wants to learn. He is full of will and he's had 20%. I don't see a lot of off hands, so I'm gonna go 1/3, which I think is fine. I think it's fine, 1/3. Hanky panky, nothing. We're not gonna bluff this guy. We're not gonna bluff him. King 10. So guys, tomorrow I expect all of you to be in the stream, all the guys from Discord. I want to also be learning in the PS stuff. I think it will be really interesting. Henky. We go 1/3, 1/3. 1/3, 1/3. 5x ISO, we're gonna fold. Ace 8, we're gonna 3-bet. We're gonna 3-bet. We are gonna 3-bet. We're gonna fold it to 4, to 4-bet. Let's see a 4 table, 4 table. Ah, when I see 10 blinds, short tables, no, I'm gonna play it. Not gonna play it. King, queen, we're gonna open, we're gonna zoom in into the tables. I think that if I go with the 4th zoom table, I think it will be maybe a little too much. But let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do strip fold. Pretty big squeeze, we are gonna fold. Folding king 8. Even if it is open, I'm not gonna open it on zone. 7-9, I'm gonna fold. Ace 5. A6 suited, I'm gonna fold. King 10, we're gonna open it. We're gonna open. AK. AK lost against kings. Easy game. Small 3-bet. You see how Kenton played it, because Kenton knew this guy has at least ace king there. He probably put him also on the aces there. Yeah. Easy game. Top set and 3-bet pot raise. Healthy raise. It's easy when you know what he has, and he has at least ace king. At least ace king. 7, 8. What's going on the Super Sport? Just check it. Maybe we can put some Super Sport also in. Maybe we can put some Super Sport in. Let's see if it's... No action. Okay. We're calling, easily calling. Okay. Easy fold on the flop. No action. Lately around 2 a.m. there is less tables than before. Again, don't like it. I don't like it when somebody c-bets 90% and suddenly checks the flop where don't understand it. Why? Let's see his delay c-bet. Which positions were this? Let's see. Yeah. He's basically now ripping a king. I don't think queens are betting this size. And I think he has bluffs, so I'm just gonna fold. We lost it. What we're gonna do? Let me see. There's a lot of short tables and I don't like them, so we just transfer to two again, 2 tables, and we're just gonna go 1 zoom, 1 normal one. Tile tables like this. 3-5. Okay, gonna fold it. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay. We're gonna fold it. It's interesting. On the zoom, we don't know basically pool. Let me see how to see if they are rakes or not. How can I see it? Yeah. There's no, like before, when you see how much table did they play. So we just can't do it now. Okay. So what we can do? This guy 3-bets is really 8%. Against us is 14, so maybe it's a sample issues. 8% would be, let's see his call range. I don't see like 8 plus in there. Yeah, there's no 8 plus. So probably normal range like 8 plus. Let's see, do I see ace jack? Strong suited connectors are not in it. Okay. Probably the normal range like 8 plus. 8 plus. He should be having a lot of checks. Really a lot of checks. My strategy on the ace xx or any board, even if it's monotone with containing an ace, is to check behind always and start my range from the turn. I'm gonna go with the big size. That is my strategy, and I think it's a good strategy. He double checks. I think we have a clear check back again with the sixes, with the 6 of spade there. We are calling river. Not sure if this guy is gonna bluff hands like queen jack of hearts. Is he gonna check here jacks? Not sure also about that, so I'm not gonna value bet. 3-6 suited. Okay. Interesting. You see, HUD stats. On 2.7k hands, he didn't rebet nothing, but now we see 3-6 suited and he didn't try anything. Even on the river, he didn't try to bluff it, which I think I want to see if this guy is reg or not, but no, I just can't do it. Seems active. Our hand is also sometimes a 4-bet, sometimes a call. Basically, just because I don't know, I will call it, but it is 4-bet also sometimes. Do we want to bet? Also, I mean, which hand's gonna go like this? Jack stands. We can also bet turn small and bet river, but I just want to see the hand that he had, and we don't see the hand. How is this possible? Israimbo is asking, can you table select in Croatia? Can you table select? What does that mean? Do you mean if I can choose from multiple sites, or you think do I tables? Can you search for better tables inside of one? Let's see like this. Midstakes plus zone. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure about what you mean, but I will try to answer. In Croatia, you can basically play on one side of iPoker. Other sides are forbidden. Red Star Poker is on the only side that is allowed. and you can play on Poker Stars and Croatian sites, Super Sport Poker. That's only sites you can play on, nothing else. And can you table select? I mean, if you want to table select, you can table select anywhere. But okay, we are betting. We, we still have to bet smaller, I would say. We don't have many. We don't even have tens in the range. Nines are also three betting a lot, so we have a lot of weekends. He's calling king queen, which is okay. But like I said, I mean on stars, if you start playing around 10, 9, let's say, you have really a lot of tables, so there is no need. You can table select if you want, but you can get action without problems. So we're gonna call ace queen against UTG. It's mostly call. We are playing against unknown players. We don't know them, so it has sense for us to be a little more cautious. In GTO, ace queen is also calling really a lot. He shouldn't be betting a lot. I'm gonna float ace queen. He should be c-betting, and especially he can just bet like 9s, 8s into 3 ranges, and people do it. So ace queen will be floating. Let's see what he's gonna do. Let's see what happened there. So he's calling checkers. What is he calling checkers with there? Feels like that's our hands like tens, jacks, hands like king x, because when he's betting that size, I would say that he's gonna bet also hands like tens, jacks. This guy now slowed down with this side, which doesn't have any sense. No pair's gonna fold. No pair's gonna fold, and let's see what he's gonna do on the river. Turn doesn't have any sense. Any sense. Okay, so king x hand. Pretty bad. I think also king jack is not bad in a true way, because button range is significantly stronger than UTG range, betting flatting range, and on most boards it has better EV, and you still have a big blind range. So the best strategy would be check range on that board, but the guy decided to bet. He has king jack. We floated the flop because if he's using that size, he's probably using it with a lot of hands. King queen is fold. He folds to 73%, so king queen is the default. So our ace queen is a float of 1/3 size for sure. 30% against UTG calling or 3 betting. Or he has queen jack off, so he has king 10 off also, so normal range. 5-9 fold. 5-9 folding. So we are a little bit zooming. Usually I'm not a fan of the zoom games. I explain my reasons why I'm not a fan of it, but when you have to do it, you just have to do it. Okay. 1/3 is fine. He should be betting 8s and jacks. He doesn't have jack 8 off, which is real great. So he doesn't have many strong hands. He doesn't hit this board real good. So our bet is perfect. Our size is also great. 1000 BBs. Easy game on Zoom. Yesterday I saw a guy that had 1870 blinds. Sick. This is a real good size also. He can use it on this board without problems. Without many problems. what do you think about table selecting is Rainbow? I don't do it, but I know that a lot of people do it. I think if you want to get better and better, the table select isn't that important. But if you want to, if you're just money and result orientated, then then the table select has sense. Okay, Jack 9, we're going to 3-bet because it's 3-bet big blind versus small blind. We are calling here. We're against probably a fish, Sexy Devil 85. That means he has 37 years. We're gonna call there. We are 3-betting Henry again. He's 4-betting a lot. Jacks, okay, that's easy 4-bet. I'm gonna raise it. This is probably fish. We're just gonna go with the pot. 21 has been 63. He's gonna leave 66, so we're gonna go with a slightly lower bet like this. King 10, we're gonna open. Physiologist. Check range, multi-way, guys. Marta is from Chile. You see, we just can't have bet range on this board. We don't have at all that straights and that other players has. That much when you think about our range composition, because he's gonna flat like 5% and we're gonna open 24%. So his straights will be 4 times more often than ours gonna be. So we just don't have, and his sets are also hitting far more than ours because our range is 5 times wider. So we just can't have bet range in that spot. It's like that, and I see people still has it. You know, that's pretty insane. I think people play multi-way really bad and played it. Sexy Devil 368 blinds. Yep. Sexy Devil. Why I just can't click new hand? Can you explain me why? Why I need to watch Sexy Devil? Why? To see Jack 5, okay? Let's see. Let's see how the Sexy Devil played it. Called with the Jack 5. He should be overbetting the turn, but he isn't. He's check calling delay that doesn't have any sense. That call with kings against him, it seems bad now. It seems really bad now, because if he's playing like this, he's gonna bluff river never, between never and never ever. Diavolo. This guy has a nickname like Pizza. Okay, this guy is weak reg. I'm gonna just put it like this. Okay, this guy limps 259. Big size, so immediately, okay. Oh, let's see. Deuce 5, nothing. You know what? So in the Zoom games, you just need to mark them as regs and recrus and fish. You just have to do it. It's pretty hard to play if you don't do it. Pretty hard to play, to be playing like that, because I have to watch here now and think, is it this guy brave or not? That's the first step you need to do. We're gonna open 3-7 suited. We are gonna open it. No, we're not. A lot of tables, some stars, but all are short tables. We can do it like this. Joe Black. I don't like also this, what they made. Can you just move it or something? No, you just can't do it. It's on the way bothering me a bit. It's better the way it was before, but okay. This combo of ace deuce is a call, but against him I'm just gonna tribet it. I'm gonna fold to 4-bet. This hand is 3-bet. If we got 4-betted, we are jamming. We are going jam jam. Queen jack off, queen jack suited. Opening, 3-betting. Sixes are open. This hand is fold to 4-bet in these positions, unfortunately, especially against unknown players. So we're just gonna go and fold it, and that's it. Okay, so micro millions is on stars until where? Until of the 31, 30, so 2 more days. Two more days. I didn't play from that scoop series. I didn't play anything. I I have a desire. I mean, always when I don't play for a month of MTTs, you get that desire to play again. I'm gonna just go with tribet. With tens on the both tables. Against the 4-bet, tens are jamming really a lot. Tens are jamming a lot. It's basically 50% jam, 50%. Okay. I'm gonna call here and probably jam there. I'm just gonna jam on this board. We have a lot of calls there, but we still have a lot of ace-5 suited hands, ace-4. I'm gonna jam the tens. Let's go. Guys, still, if you do a winning session, I'm giving 15% of my winnings to three best comments, but because if there's no many of them, I will give everything to best comment of today. So 15% of the winnings to one player. There wasn't a lot of comments and a lot of questions, so if I'm having winning session, I'm gonna give just 15% to one guy. I'm gonna see which is the best question. For now, I don't think that anything was even a good question or good comment. Maybe Gelion has the best question about that removing HUDs. It was most interesting question also, and basically Gelion had a lot of good questions. So this guy's probably reg. He's playing multiple of tables. So he's probably a reg. Probably a reg. Hekaron, let's see what happened there. Henry. Hekaron check raise with what? Bad play. This hand is never check raise, I think. Why would you check raise? Pure check call. You want to check raise queen jack suited, king jack, queen jack, stuff like that. 9 jack. This hand doesn't have any sense. I want to see this stab of the guy. The size is terrible. He should be stabbing 1/3 size on this board. He has a lot of hands that wants to stab. I don't like his check raise on this size at all. Yep, I think it's bad play. Really bad play. We are betting really against the button on a queen x6. We are not betting a lot. We are betting really narrow. King 10 fits in that description, but I will go with the check call. I can mix a check raise, but I can also check call. We're gonna check call a lot of queen x, hands like 10s, jacks. So I think calling king 10 suited is also really good. When I check, we're gonna just see how strong his hand is. So check call is pretty normal. He can step hands like 7, 8 hands like ace 10 also. Then we're gonna fold. Yep. So guys, you don't have any questions, anything. How is that possible? I mean, didn't any hand just interested you? Any hand, some strategy you would want to know what's in it? Nothing, guys. How is that possible? I mean, I'm curious. In some hands, I would like to discuss with somebody. How are you not interested in, for example, into the multi-way pot strategy? Nobody knows how to play multi-way pots. Okay, big size polarizing himself, so I would say his bet range is like queen 10 plus probably. I think we can do a lot of donk on this turn. Also, we have jack 10 off. He should be having. Also hands like 8, 9, 6, 8 we have, he doesn't have. 6, 7, 7, 10 we have, he doesn't have. 7, 10 suited, so I think donk is this hand doesn't fit the bill, but this is bad play. I mean, he's probably a fish and he's probably betting, I would say, king queen out plus. We have a pure call also, but I think we need to donk river. We are donking for sure. We have many 9x hands. He can just check here king queen and ace queen. So donking for sure on the river. Let's see what he had. What is this? This is the second time this happened on the stars. Why we don't see the hands in the replayer? Pretty sick. Pretty sick, I would say. We can go in. And just if somebody comes. Personal number. Probably a fish when you see stuff like this. We're gonna turn the size down a bit. What is he calling on turn? I still feel we need to go with the down of the size. I still feel a lot of deuces force, stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. We probably won't see what the guy had. And on the normal table everything works, so that's quite interesting. He had ace king calling from the small blind. Insane. But still our hand, we block top pairs, and when he double, I think the size is great, and he didn't raise the hand. I mean insane. Insane. At least we saw the showdown. That's good. At least we got the showdown. I'm gonna put the table if the table will be running. So let's get back to 4 tables on strategy on Poker Stars. Let's pull this table here and let's do it like this. Okay, let's go to the custom 4 tables, and we have it all now. We go 1/3 in this spot. Let's see his call. See bet range against 1/3. Okay, he still has some slow plays, but it's only flush. So he's gonna call here. Hands like ace 10 was gonna float king queen king, jack king 10, jack x hands gonna float 1/3. Let's see how much he floats against me. 41%. So maybe not hand like queen jack, but hands like king jack king queen ace 10 is gonna also float. Lucky nit in action. Yes, worker, that's me. A lucky nit in action. Queen jack is always a call. I'm gonna fold. But worker, you know, not that original. You could think you can think something better. You can think something better. Lucky nit is not that cool. You can do better. Try, go think half an hour, get back and say something better. We are folding ace 9, we are folding this, we are mixing a 3-bet here, we're gonna go with this. We are opening this and this. This hand is betting on this board, mixing 1/3 and 2/3. This hand I think wants to bet bigger. I'm gonna go with the big size. This is called 3-bet range. You can see a lot of data. Okay. Let's see like this. I didn't see his fold to turn. I think this hand likes to bet half pot on the turn. We have spade blocker. Knight to me it looks like a 10x, but he can still have 9s, he can still have 8x hands. I would need to go with the jam now. I don't think that I rep that much. His hand is clear call on the flop. I think it would be far better if we bet the turn, then we could jam the river. But like this, I don't think it feels that we credibly rep anything. We don't credibly rep nothing, basically. That's the problem. So I decided not to do it, and we are also on the time run. But definitely I like the bet on the turn. He's still gonna have flows like ace-jack and ace-queen. We are having spade, so I think all in all, I really like the bet. We're gonna also want to check raise there a lot, but in this is middle position versus cutoff. Okay, I'm in the wait list. We're gonna go like this. Okay, let's see what the guy had. King 9. Yep, our hand is sometimes check raise. I would prefer to have a heart there. Also, we have queens, but I think jacks and tens need more protection, so check raising there. But against unknown player, I don't like to do it because I don't know what his range looks like, how wide it is. If he has in queen hand like king 9 suited, then definitely it's wide enough. So let's say we can say it was a mistake. I think we can say it's a mistake. Alexei says you need to go backwards a bit and then it works. Don't know, but it's frustrating. Stars are getting... That bug is lasting for 2 weeks, and sometimes you don't see the hand, sometimes you don't see a showdown at all. The hand is like a wrist, you don't even see any action. So it's getting annoyed with stars, and they need to fix it. We are having also calls. You need to know our hands like jack deuce to jack 5 are also 3-betting a lot, so this is one of our worst jack x hands, and then we're going to slow play our worst and our best jack x hands, mixing it with the slow plays and like middle strength jack x trips. We're gonna raise a lot more. Yep, definitely stars are fucking us, and they need to make that done as soon as possible, because it's getting annoying. I was in a couple of the big pots yesterday and day before, and I didn't see any showdown, so I don't know. Did guy bluff? Did he value bet thin? Did he stopped on a turn that on the river that needs to be bluffed. Did he not bluff no equity or stuff like that? You don't see it, and it's really really important informations. And when something like that happens, it's getting annoying and frustrating, and it's getting on my nerves. And you know, you already know. Then you already know. Alexei, what do you play? You also play stars. Which limit do you play? The name is familiar. Did we play against each other, Alexei? I think I play against someone called Alexei. Not sure. So if you know, you can say. Worker is reg from our pool. We are calling. We are calling turn. Okay. I think 1/3 has a lot of sense. I would go like I would go half pot. Basically, we want to bet every ace-x. I think half pot is good. And when he check behinds, I think he'll mainly give up. So 1/3 also has sense. 1/3 has also sense. I'm gonna just leave here for sure. When I see 12 blinds guy, sit out next hand. Don't like this. Let's get back now to two tabling. Okay. This guy last time called call ace king. Yeah. So you can take it, guy. You can take the hand. Ace jack. We're gonna fold. Let's see on Croatian poker side what's going on. On Croatian poker side, nothing is going on basically. Well, we have a little bit of the heads up, but and guy from our Discord is playing. Rexonia, good luck. I see you play heads up against really big fish. I think check back is also okay. We're gonna check back a lot of queen X hands, so I think we can rep on the river and pull the bluff on the river. Okay, we're just gonna go 1/3. Queen jack, we're gonna call. I will gonna check raise this hand. I think it's okay. This guy folds a lot to check raises, so his range is around 10% it seems. So a lot of hands like ace jack off, ace queen, we are blocking that, king queen. We're gonna check raise. We are not blocking ace king. He quickly calls again. Our value range is 3s, 4s. We're gonna have some 5, 6, 6, 7 hands. There we can bet 1/3 here. We are also blocking like ace queen and ace jack, which is not ideal, and I think he would probably fold those hands. He can still float with the hands like backdoor hands. And check. We still have hands like 9x also there. That's not gonna hand like 9, 10, 9 jack that needs protection. We're not gonna bet those one. Let's see how much he bets after call check raise bet turn. I want to see one of the 3 times. So I think we just need to go with the small bet now. Let's see here. I'm just gonna jam now. I think I rep a lot. I'm just gonna rep now 9x and sets. We have ace queen there. This guy is probably fish. We can also rep we can rep with 1/3 hands like 7s, 5s, hands like 6, 7. I think we can rep with half pot also, but also I like a jam. Yep. Yep. Stars. Uh, the update was today. The update was today. So I think they should be just resolving everything, not part of it, because it's lasting for 2 weeks. But okay, I mean, it is like it is. We just can't change it. So nothing we can do. We can just accept it and hope that they will just resolve it. Okay, guys. So 5 more minutes, and I think that's it for today. Even, I mean, I can play still. 50-30 stats. Monthly challenge, Alex. Can you give us more details? And by the way, you can drop into our Discord channel. We have a lot of guys from Stars. We have a few crushers from Stars. Guy like Anarchy that plays on Stars Midstakes, also winning 7 BBs 100. So you're welcome to join our Discord channel. I'm gonna give into the chat my Discord channel just to go into it. Wait. So Discord channel. Okay. So come in. We will do a lot of learning. Tomorrow we have also giveaway like today. Today 3 top comment would give 15% of my winnings, but there wasn't that great of the comment, not a lot of active ones, so I will give one only 15% to one of the comments. I will decide which I think is the best, and that's it. Tomorrow will be again a giveaway. I'm going to give to three best comments or best questions. I'm going to give 15% of my winnings. Okay, let's now just see how can I share my breakthrough. Invite people. We are calling there. I think he's polarizing himself. You can see his double barrel is quite he's not double barreling anything basically, and river I think against him this is like pure call always, but against him I think we are never good. Just let's see in the river pop-up after betting turn overpair, 2 pair plus overpair. He did one bluff with a king queen there, but it was a 3-bet pot where he delay bet, and because the flop was check check. I'm just not gonna reward him with a call there. I just don't respect his play, and I don't think he's bluffing hand that he needs to be bluff. Some ace-x hands and hands like pocket trees. I have a pure call on the river, but against him I'll just not do it. I will not do it. I don't see a bluff ever, and from what I see he's really passive, so I'm not gonna award him. Okay, guys, I'll give you my link of this. We'll see how we pass the session. I'm gonna call this. We're gonna see how I finish the session. Let's check back. Let's see, how can I give you my Discord channel? That's also a question. Pure call. Okay. Okay, Discord channel. Join in. Follow us tomorrow from 10 p.m. We are with Anarchy. We'll do PO work after. Also giveaway will be. I hope there will be a lot more of you guys. And just let me see where I can find that Discord channel. I'm gonna fold this. Let me see just how can I give you my Discord. How can I give you my Discord, guys? How can I do it? I'll try to see it in here. I'll try to see it in here. I just can't find it. Just wait. Okay. I just want to see if I will hit the set. Okay, guys, I will find it and give you. Drop by, come and let's hang out. Let's learn together. Let's learn together, play together, work together. Monthly challenge is extra rakeback offers for in some countries at least. Had 2 losing months in a row, so got 40% for this month. Okay, great, great. So, I mean, on the stars I get 10%, but a lot of players get 40% of the rakeback also. Hope, Alexei, you're gonna have a winning month. So, all we can do is learn and get better. Let's see how our session went today. Okay, this is not this is not this is for the this is my yesterday session on the other network, so not that. On the stars, let's see. Okay, we were up 328. EV is 530, so I'm giving 32.8, so around 50 bucks, I would say 45 bucks. 33.8. Okay, so 49, 50 bucks. 10% is 30, so 45. Okay, so we'll get to 50 $50 for today. So $50 for today I'm gonna give to, just to give you my Discord channel, and I will then choose a winner. Okay, just to see. Okay, my Discord, just to find the Discord. Okay, I found the Discord. I found the Discord, guys, so I'm gonna give you on the chat. On the chat, join the Discord so you can get prices. I'm gonna give $50 to Dinesi. Great, you did now. So $50 will get the, let me see how is his. Okay, that, just to see in the chat. So $50 goes to Gaylord, that had to left, but he had really interesting questions about HUDs, and he did try to comment the hands also. So he was really interesting guy, really good understanding of the game also, so he will get it. I will write it on the poker strategy. So also here's your poker strategy blog. Where is my blog? You can go in there also. Be active, give your comments for what you want to see, because I will do a lot of poker content. Galleon is his nickname. Galleon, so Galleon will get 50 bucks. This is my poker thread. Go there, be supportive, give comments, ask anything, give your ideas. Tomorrow we are making another giveaway. I hopefully it will gonna be top 3 top 3 comments or questions, so be active. Will get again 15% of my session, of my meetings. I'm gonna show you the I'm gonna show you the how we are doing when we are streaming, just to know, because when we stream we basically crush them. We have 21 BBs when we are streaming, so I will show you. Okay, let's go here, stream schedule. Yep, this is our graph from streaming, 22.3. So I played how can I make it bigger? Let's see, like this. Save image. I'll try to do it like this. Stream graph. Let's see, stream graph. Okay, let's try to open it. Yeah, see, this is our graph while we are streaming. So this is our winnings when we are streaming. We are basically killing because we are a lot of concentrated. So 22.39 BBs, our win rate, more than double than our normal win rate when we are just tabling and streaming. So this is I only play like this when I'm streaming. So join in tomorrow, be part of the poker strategy, where I'm new coach on poker strategy. So be part of it. Give your ideas about the content you want to see, because I want to make a lot of content. I was trying also thought about comparing stakes, regs, fish, weak regs, comparing stakes, start from micros to big stake to high stakes, where I will play and give my observation, what I think the pool is doing, what I think how can you break the range, how can you exploit regs, weak regs, how can you exploit fish more, what is difference between limits and stuff like that. So go into the poker strategy, give some support, make some hype, and I will do a series for sure. I can also mix Zoom tables. I will show you on Zoom also how I'm doing. Let's see on the Zoom. I didn't play a lot of hands, but I feel okay also on the Zoom. Yeah, on the Zoom. Yeah, on the Zoom we are also doing really crazy. So NL 200 on Zoom, we are 35 BBs on. Okay, it's low hands, but I think I can play Zoom also. So whatever you want, I will do. I will create the content. So just go into the Discord and go into the poker strategy thread and tell me your ideas, and I will happily do it. So tomorrow, same time. Today winner is Galleon. I will give him $50. Send him on which he prefers. I will let him know on the poker strategy thread. So if you're not a member, just go there and go there and register and give your ideas and anything you want like to see. So tomorrow we are Anarchy. It's gonna be great. Anarchy is a great player. I really appreciate him. So let's do it tomorrow. Let's try to have great session. I'm open for anything, and thank you guys for being with me today. See you tomorrow.